A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Ronald Reagan in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a man who wanted to apologize for threatening a stranger. And when he got there, the stranger was dead and the police were waiting. It's called Circumstantial Terror. Our star, Mr. Ronald Reagan.
This is Harlow Wilcox with a $100,000 reminder. That total will be given to recognized charities in cash through the Autolite Family Charity Drawing. And you may be one of 25 persons selected to name your own church, hospital, or any other local or national recognized charity to share in this huge sum. There's no obligation except printing your name and address, but your favorite recognized charity may share in thousands of dollars. To tell you how important this is to his organization, we are privileged to present General George Kenney, President of the Arthritis and Rheumatism Foundation.
This generous Autolite offer will greatly aid the work of such groups as the Arthritis and Rheumatism Foundation. If you are one of the 25 persons chosen to name your favorite organization, I hope you will remember the 10 million people who suffer the pain and the crippling of arthritis. They will be most grateful for your help. Good luck to you in this Autolite Family Charity Drawing.
To enter this drawing, just visit any of these Autolite Family car showrooms and fill out a registration form. DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. It may mean thousands to your favorite recognized charity. So sign up tomorrow.
And now, Autolite presents Circumstantial Terror, starring Mr. Ronald Reagan, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
I wasn't the only one who was mad at him. All the other guys felt just about like I did. About Curly Weber, that is. You see, if he hadn't let the pressure go too high, we'd have all been in good shape right now. As it was, the boiler blew up and wrecked the cleaning plant where I worked. The owner collected the insurance money and got out of the business, which left us with no jobs. After a few months of looking around for a job, I was in a pretty bad way. Then I connected. Only trouble was it wouldn't start for 3 weeks. By now I was broke, irritable, and mad at the world. So I wasn't what you'd call a pleasant type fellow when I walked into this liquor store for a package of smokes about 11 o'clock one night.
So, what else could I do, Eddie? There I was with egg on my face and that phony salesman telling me I was going to have to take what he gives me or get nothing at all.
What do you have to buy from him for?
This outfit has the distributor tied up. 25% of what I make from his scotch.
I'd like a pack of cigarettes.
Hold your horses, mister. I got another customer. So, I check around town to see if maybe I can get the scotch somewhere else.
How'd you make out?
Go ahead. Take a guess.
Come on, mister. Get off the dime. Just give me
What's the matter with you? Ain't you got no manners?
Just give me a pack of cigarettes and stop shooting off your mouth.
Me shooting off my mouth? Look, Buster, I got a pretty good trade right now, so why don't you take your 2-bit sale somewhere else? I don't even like the way you look.
Listen, smart guy. I've taken a lot of lip from guys like you in the last few months. One more crack out of you and I'll smear you all over the joint, do you hear?
All right, mister, all right. Take it easy. Sam don't mean no harm. That's just the way he talks.
Then let him talk to somebody else like that.
Hey, why don't you give me cigarettes, Sam? We can talk some more after he leaves.
Okay. What kind do you want, mister?
I don't want any kind. I just want you to remember something. Next time you see me, you'd better cross over to the other side of the street. It'll be healthier for you. Remember that. I went back to my room and poured myself a drink. No doubt about it, I'd acted like a fool. That 4 months of being unemployed didn't exactly develop an even temper. It was a half hour before I realized I still hadn't got any cigarettes, and another 15 minutes before I could talk myself into going back to the liquor store to apologize for losing my temper. The street was dark, and the only light on the whole block came from the glowing window of the liquor store. I still wasn't sure what I was going to say to Sam when I got there, and I knew I'd fix everything up all right. I'd gotten to within about 100 feet of the store when I noticed a black, or what seemed to be black, coupe parked in front of the store. Just about the time I noticed it, I heard a shot. It seemed to come from the direction of the store. I stopped for a second. Then a guy rushed out of the store right in front of me, jumped into the car, and before I could do anything, it roared down the darkest street out of sight. I ran to the store and looked in. Nobody around. And I looked behind the counter. The guy I'd argued with, Sam, was on the deck. I could tell right away that it was a waste of time to check his pulse, but I did it anyway. He was dead, all right. Then I started for the door to call the cops.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, what did I tell you, Irv?
I saw who did it. He ran out the door as I was coming up the street. Come on.
Grab him, Irv. He did it. That's the guy I was telling you about.
Come on, buddy. Let go. I tell you, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I saw the guy that did. Let go.
Hold on to him, Irv. That's the guy Sam had to throw out of the store. He was casing the joint. That's what he was doing.
Let go of him.
Yeah, hold him good, Irv. I'm going for the cops.
Don't worry, he ain't going nowhere.
Just as I was getting up to go after the police, these two guys rush in and hold me. I didn't do it, I tell you.
He's lying, officer. We'll find out if he's lying when the guys from homicide get here.
I don't even own a gun.
That gun laying by Sam's body is Sam's gun. Looks to me like this guy shot him with his own gun.
If you don't shut your mouth.
Easy does it.
What happens when the guys from homicide get here?
You want my honest opinion, mister?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't put the cuffs on you for laughs. I think you've had it, buddy. It's only an opinion, but from what I can see here, what I've gotten from these witnesses, you're nailed, buddy. Nailed good.
And I was. By the time it was presented to the grand jury, the state had a real good case prepared against me. The liquor store owner's gun only had his prints on it, which made it look as if I'd tried a phony hold-up and jumped him when he drew it. And there was money scattered all over the store, which made it look as if I'd been surprised before I had a chance to get away. That Sky Eddie, who had been in the store when I had my argument, wouldn't let me up. He pounded nails in my coffin every time he opened his mouth. If I'd had a job when all this happened, they'd had trouble giving me a motive. And being broke and unemployed made it look that much worse. As a result, I wasn't surprised when the grand jury came through with an indictment for first-degree murder. As far as I was concerned, it was all over but the hanging.
How are you? You, Frank Thompson?
Right now, I wish I weren't, but I am. Who are you?
I'm Ernest Gibbons. I've been assigned as public defender in your case.
You're wasting your time.
Why? Are you guilty?
No, I'm not.
Well, then I'm not wasting my time. Mind if I sit down?
Go ahead.
Well, I think you got most of the facts straight in my mind. Now, I want you to tell me in your own words what happened.
Did you read the transcript of the inquest?
Yes, I did.
That's all there is to it.
Uh-huh. Well, look, Frank, I'm here to help you if I can. Now, don't make it tough for me. I think we can beat this if you help me.
How?
Well, first, let's forget that story about running in after the storekeeper was shot. Now, nobody believes that.
Would you believe it if I tell it to you again?
Should I?
Yes, because it's the truth.
Well, can you describe the man you saw running out?
More or less.
Well, what do you mean by more or less?
Well, I got a pretty good look at his face. He had a mustache. But I couldn't tell you how tall he was or how much he weighed. It seemed to me to be just medium all around.
Well, you said at the inquest that he got in a car and he drove it. Now, can you describe the car?
It was a black coupe.
Now, what year?
Don't know.
How about the make?
Couldn't tell. It was too dark.
Mm-hmm. The license number, all or any part of the license number?
None of it. All his lights were out.
Uh-huh. In other words, if you wanted to lie, this would be a pretty good way of blaming someone the police couldn't possibly track down, wouldn't it?
I guess so. But I'm not lying.
Oh, all right. Now, let's see. The state has set the trial for a week from today.
In a hurry, aren't they?
Well, I guess they figure that they've got you sewed up. The papers have public opinion running pretty high against you. You know, the man left a wife and 3 little kids.
Well, that's tough. Real tough. a couple of days later that Ernie came to me and said they were selecting the jurors who'd hear the case. This was a part of the law I didn't know a thing about, so when he said I had a right to sit in on the selection, I went along, if only to get out of the cell for a few hours.
Well, to put it simply, it's more of an interview than anything else. It also gives us a chance to get jurors we think might be more easily swayed to our way of thinking.
I'm to the point where I don't care much one way or another. I just wanted to get out of the cell for a little while. Maybe I'd be better off if I just played guilty and get it over with.
Oh, now you're talking foolish, boy. There's a lot that can happen in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's all going to happen to me.
Some of it might be good, you know.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, over here, Frank. Sit down, mate.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get as many women as I can on the jury. You're a pretty good-looking boy. It helps sometimes.
What about the prosecution? Don't they have anything to say about it?
Well, I doubt if they challenge more than once or twice. Now, they think they have such a strong case, it doesn't matter much to them who's on the jury.
They're right, too, aren't they?
Now, that remains to be seen. Here they come.
Yeah. Right now, I'd trade places with any given one of them.
I don't think you'd get any takers. Oh, well, they're not as many women as I'd like to have seen.
Ernie.
What's up, boy?
The guy with the gray suit.
Where?
Over there, next to the dame with the fur coat.
Oh, yeah. Well, what about him?
Don't challenge him.
What?
Don't challenge him. That's the guy.
What guy?
That's the guy that killed the shopkeeper. That's the guy I saw running out of the store that night. Get him on the jury. Don't let him get away. I don't want to die for what he did.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Ronald Reagan in Circumstantial Terror. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Hey, Charlie, what Nash model is this?
Oh, this is the new Nash Statesman, Harlow. You know, this year, Nash offers the widest range of models and prices in history. And you can get such optional features as power steering, power brakes, and even power lift windows. And, of course, Harlow, Nash has Autolite equipment, too.
And Autolite is proud of its long association with Nash and Nash dealers everywhere. That's why we're privileged to salute Nash as a distinguished member of our Autolite family.
Distinguished is the word for the new Nash, Harlow, and advanced, too. The 1954 Nash gives you greater safety with exclusive unitized Nash air flight construction, greater economy on regular gasoline, greater comfort with the new exclusive Nash all-weather eye air conditioning system that heats, ventilates, and cools at your command. And Harlow, next week, Nash introduces a completely new kind of car. Watch for it.
Okay, Charlie, and thanks for the ride.
Always a pleasure, Harlow, especially in a new Nash.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Ronald Reagan in Elliot Lewis's production of Circumstantial Terror, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
It was tough sitting through the selection of the jury, especially when I knew that the prosecution could, for no apparent reason, disqualify the man I'd pointed out to Ernie. If he was the man I'd seen run out of the liquor store the night of the shooting, then he had to be where we could keep tabs on him. Ernie sacrificed a couple of his limited number of preemptory challenges just to make sure the guy came up for selection. When he did, there was no objection on either side, and we had him. Later that afternoon, when Ernie came to my cell, we tried to figure out what we were going to do with him.
Well, now that we've got him, what are we going to do with him?
Well, that's your job to figure out, Ernie. You're the lawyer.
We're no better off now than we were at the beginning. We haven't got a shred of evidence to substantiate your claim.
I saw him. Isn't that enough?
Well, you're on trial, not him.
Well, supposing I get up in court and say he's the man, what would happen?
He'd probably declare it a mistrial and discharge the jury and go to work on another trial, but you'd stay in jail.
Wouldn't they question him?
Maybe. His pretty obvious. He'd say you were off your rocker. Remember, Frank, you're the one who's accused. Defending yourself by accusing him just on your say-so is pretty flimsy. Who'd believe it, would you?
Well, couldn't you do it? Couldn't you tell someone?
Proof, Frank, proof. What can I possibly do but quote you?
What am I going to do?
Just what we're doing. Go through with this trial. Then I'll appeal, no matter what the verdict is, and see if we can rope our friend into making a mistake.
But he'll duck as soon as the trial's over, won't he?
Probably, but at least he'll be around while the trial is on. Now, if you cause a mistrial, he'll be gone a lot faster.
It isn't fair. I know he's
This
the
is
man.
a court of law. The burden of proof is on the accuser.
What real proof have they got against me?
They don't have to catch a man in the act of murder to convict him of it. Circumstantial evidence can be strong enough, and in your case, it seems to be.
It's driving me nuts to think that this guy's going to help send me away for a murder he committed.
Yeah, they haven't sentenced you yet, boy. Let's see what happens.
And if it does happen?
Maybe we'll have something I can use to ask for a new trial, if we get into trouble.
Where's the trial going to be?
Well, Judge Thurston will preside, I think. Let me see, that'll put it in the City Hall Annex.
Where's that?
In the Annex, that's a small building on the north side of the City Hall. That's next to the parking lot. Why?
Just asking, that's all.
Frank,
Yeah?
don't try any grandstand plays. Any tangle with the jury might result in a mistrial, and I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay. I won't mess with them.
That's good. Well, yeah, I gotta get going.
Going home?
I guess so.
Tell me something, Ernie.
Sure, well, what do you want to know?
What are my chances, Ernie? And don't kid me.
I wouldn't kid you, Frank. I don't know right now, but I'd sure be lying if I said they were good.
Thanks. That's what I wanted to know. That's what I liked about Ernie. When you asked for the truth, he gave it to you. After he left, I lay back in my cot and thought about the whole mess. Everything had happened so fast, I really hadn't had time to take stock of my position. Now I did. And what I came up with made me want to beat my brains out against the steel bars out of sheer frustration. It wasn't anybody's fault. If you discounted the guy that actually did the killing, I didn't have any beef with the law or the people who were carrying out the law. It was just that they didn't know they were going to convict an innocent man. For hours, I guess I lay there thinking about ways to clear myself. Most of the ways were more daydreaming than anything else. I finally came up with the conclusion that anything I did was going to have to really go from the time I started it. There wouldn't be time for talk or reason. In the morning, I got dressed and ready for the first day of the trial. When I got to the courtroom, I was seated beside Ernie. Then came the time when papers were being shuffled and everyone was getting set for the opening arguments.
Now, then you take it easy, Frank. We're going to fight real hard.
You know what a backfire is?
You mean like when a car...
No, I mean like when you're caught in a bad brush fire without any water.
Well, I'm not with you, kid. What are you going for?
You light another fire downwind, let it give you a big burn spot to stand in while the main fire goes fast.
You explain it to me later, Frank. The judge will be here in a minute or two, and I want to get my papers straightened here. He doesn't like to see an unprepared attorney.
Listen to me, Ernie. I'm in the path of a real big fire right now.
I know you are, boy. I know, but what...
So I got to try a backfire. A guy can get killed in a backfire, but at least you got to take a chance.
What are you trying to tell me? Now, say it fast, because...
You'll hear from me. Stick with me, Ernie. I'm a pretty good guy, but I'm in real bad trouble. And I'm the only guy that can get me out of it.
Well, what are you going to do?
This. Get out of my way. It was the only thing I could do. I couldn't sit by while 12 people tried to make up their minds whether I must die for a murder I didn't commit. As I went out the window, I folded my arms in front of my face to keep from being cut to ribbons with a broken glass. I lit feet first in the parking lot and started running. I didn't know where I was going. All I knew was I had to get away fast. By the time everyone got organized, I'd pretty well lost myself in the alleys of the city. I got to a place where they were putting up an office building and ducked into the sub-basement, crawled into a corner and stayed there. Somewhere around midnight, I slid out and started to the only guy in town I knew wouldn't turn me in as soon as he saw me, Ernie Gibbons. When I got there, his place had a light on in the kitchen, so I went around the back. Let me in.
Oh, come on, hurry. What are you doing here? If they find out about this, I'll be disbarred.
I won't stay long.
Wait till I turn the light off. Now sit right there, Frank. And don't move around too much.
Thanks.
Okay. Tell me why you did it.
I told you this morning in court. This is my backfire. I couldn't just stand around while they made up their minds whether to kill me or let me rot in jail. I didn't do it. I'm going to get the guy that did.
Oh, then they'll really have you.
And they'll have me for something I did, not something I didn't.
Well, why'd you come here?
I need an address.
An address, you mean? The guy with the mustache?
Yeah? Got anything on him?
He isn't around, Frank.
How do you know?
By the time I got through with the mess you left behind, it was pretty late in the day.
What are you talking about?
Just this. We knew he'd duck out as soon as the trial was over. But during the trial, we might have been able to work something. That's why I warned you about causing a mistrial. Well, this afternoon I went over to the address he'd given. And he moved out a few hours after your break.
Any forwarding address?
Don't be so naive. The man is a murderer. I don't think he knows you saw him running out of the store, but he isn't taking any chances. He's lost, Frank. And you're in a bigger jam than before.
What do I do now?
Oh, yes, you tell me.
I won't give myself...
Well, that's up to you. You're on your own now.
What's your position in this?
Well, I should turn you in.
But you won't.
Oh, you're a cinch to have the book thrown at you when they get you.
I gotta think.
Yeah, sure.
Ernie, do something for me, will you?
I might. What is it?
I'm a pretty hungry man. Could you rustle me up some food?
Oh, sure, Frank. I'll fix you some food.
Ernie.
Yes?
What about that witness that claims he saw me casing the place, that Eddie character?
Yeah, well, what about him?
He's the state's #1 witness, isn't he?
Well, I guess so.
What's he got against me? Why is he trying so hard to get me?
Well, I think that for the first time in his life, he's somebody, and he's going all out to prove it.
I'm going to see him.
No, you're not. You're in enough trouble. Lay off of him.
Give me his address, Ernie.
Well, you're out of your mind.
Give me his address. I want to talk to him.
Oh, but Frank...
I know you've got it. You've got the addresses of all the witnesses. Get it.
Okay. It's here in my briefcase. Hey.
What?
Well, that's funny. I never noticed this before.
Noticed what? What are you mumbling about?
The witness against you lives right over the liquor store where the guy was shot.
Ernie.
Yeah?
Just a thought. But he's the fellow that accused me of casing the shop. Suppose it was the other way around. Suppose he was casing it for our friend with the mustache.
Well, you would have to prove a connection between the two men, but... So how are you going to do that?
I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there.
Oh, I can't let you do that, Frank.
Don't try to stop me.
Well, you could get picked up on the way there.
I'll be there in a few minutes.
3 or 4 miles from here.
You're lending me your car.
I am?
Yeah. Give me the keys.
Okay. Here.
So long, Ernie.
I wish I could stop you. Because...
Don't try it. I wouldn't want to hurt you.
Oh, well, thank you. So long.
Whitey Wilson, come on, open up.
I don't know any...
But you know me, Eddie.
Thompson.
That's right, Frank Thompson, fall guy.
What do you want from me?
I want to know why you're so anxious to see me burn.
You tried to hold Sam up and killed him, that's why.
You know better than that.
I do? What other reason would I have?
Hold it down to a roar, Eddie. I gotta get some sleep.
Come on in, mister. You with the mustache.
Thompson?
Yeah, that's what Eddie said when he saw me. All right, Eddie, what's this guy doing here?
He's my brother, but it don't mean...
Cozy, huh? One guy in a witness box and one guy in a jury. You really got it made.
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Make you tell the truth.
What are you talking about?
Why'd you kill him? Need the money?
Get out of here.
After you write me a confession.
So I can burn instead of you?
That's right.
You're wasting your time.
Am I?
Get the cops, Eddie, now.
Get up, you. Am I wasting my time? Am I?
I don't write nothing.
You won't.
Okay, now.
Start writing.
Here come the cops. You're dead.
No, mister, you are. If the cops get here before you finish writing, I'll kill you. If I'm going to fry for something you did, I'm going to be sure you go with me. Now make up your mind. You want to die right now or take a chance with a jury?
Okay. Give me a pen.
I hope you understand why I sent for the cops, Frank. I didn't want you getting any more trouble.
Oh, sure, that's all right.
Well, how's it feel?
Mighty good. It's a pretty town when you don't have to look at it from behind steel bars.
Yeah. What are you going to do now?
Well, looks like I'll be able to make that job I told you about. Only a few more days to wait.
Where will you be staying?
I don't know.
You got any money?
Enough.
You got any money?
No.
Then it's settled. You'll stay with us until you get on your feet.
Now, Ernie.
You heard me.
Okay. Lend me a quarter.
Sure. What for?
Ought to buy a pack of cigarettes. From a machine.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Ronald Reagan.
Congratulations on an excellent performance, Ronald.
Well, thanks, Harlow. Say, what about this $100,000 Autolite family charity drawing? Am I eligible?
Well, if you're over 18, you are.
I'm eligible.
Well, all you do is visit any Autolite family car dealer showroom, print your name and address on a registration form, and have the dealer sign it. And if you're one of the 25 people selected, you can name your favorite church, hospital, or any other local or national recognized charity to share in $100,000.
And all I do is fill out a form? You mean there are no puzzles to solve or anything like that?
That's right, Ronald. Nothing to solve, buy, or try.
And where do I register?
At any of the following showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler.
Sounds like a wonderful opportunity, Harlow.
Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Friends, you can help your favorite recognized charity share in $100,000 just by signing your name and address. So why not sign up tomorrow?
Next week, the story of a cross-country train trip, during which a police officer finds himself torn between his assignment and his personal feelings for the girl in car 32. Our star, Mr. Victor Mature. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowick and conducted by Lud Bluskin. Circumstantial Terror was written for Suspense by Ross Murray. In tonight's story, Howard McNear was heard as Ernie. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Clayton Post, Charles Calvert, Hal Gerard, and Kurt Martell.
Ronald Reagan is currently starred with Steve Forrest and Dewey Martin in the MGM production Prisoner of War.
And remember next week, Mr. Victor Mature in Thomas Walsh's story, The Girl in Car 32.
This is the CBS Radio Network. Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Victor Mature in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a cross-country train trip, during which a police officer finds himself torn between his assignment and his personal feelings for the girl in car 32. Our star, Mr. Victor Mature.
This is Harlow Wilcox. Would you like to be responsible for your local church or hospital getting a big share of $100,000 in cash? Well, that's the total which will go to the recognized charities chosen by the 25 persons selected in the Autolite family charity drawing. The top award is $50,000, with 24 others from $1,000 to $20,000. Simple as signing your name and address, and that's all you do. Now, it's our privilege to have you hear what the head of one of America's finest organizations says about this great event. Here is Mr. E. Roland Harriman, chairman of the American Red Cross.
Thank you. The spirit of the Autolite Family Charity Plan is a fine example of the simple slogan of the Red Cross, people helping people. Just a slight effort to register may qualify you to be the benefactor of thousands who look to you for assistance through your Red Cross.
Fill out a registration form at any of the following Autolite family car dealers: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Remember, there's no obligation, but your favorite recognized charity may thank you for a large part of $100,000. Sign up tomorrow.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed The Girl in Car 32, starring Mr. Victor Mature, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
Hey, Mahoney.
Bucher?
I can see better from here. How you feel, kiddo?
Okay, I guess. Flying out here from New York last night and taking a train back this morning isn't my idea of fun, though.
Yeah, well, we'll show you L.A. next trip, baby. We got about 2 minutes.
You better tell me what this is all about.
We got a dame who's been living with Fritzie Hollister's sweetheart for the past couple of weeks. You know Fritzie.
Yeah. He's got a trunk full of hot jewelry I'd like to get my hands on.
Well, this is your chance, Mahoney. Now, we figure Fritzie's ducked the old girlfriend and made a connection with a new one. And her name is Genevieve Josephine Johnson. Now, here's the angle. She's heading east on this streamliner today, probably to wherever Fritzie's hanging around. It's a sit-up train. You're right across the aisle from her. So you work yourself in with her. When you get a chance, check her luggage, find out where she's going to meet him.
I know.
Don't look so sad, kiddo. It's an easy job sitting on a train with a doll. Hey.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Genevieve Josephine Johnson.
Uh-huh. In the flesh.
I don't know. And I don't mean to argue with you. But to me, she just isn't the type for Fritzie Hollister.
Oh, stop your kidding. No job, for one thing. No family or background we can check. An apartment in Hollywood that rented for $450 a month.
Part of the act, huh? Everything else set?
All set.
All aboard!
Well, so long, kid.
So long.
All aboard! Have a nice trip, my Charlie. Bye.
Porter. Yes, sir. Carry your bag, sir?
The bag's okay. My ticket says 32.
Car 32. Yes, sir. That'd be the next car down, sir. You can board right here. All reserved seats. Yes, sir.
Thanks. Pardon me. Pardon me, please. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss.
It's all right.
Careful now. Don't look at her sitting there in her little brown suit and white blouse. Just take off your hat, lay it on the seat, pick up your magazine. But don't look over there. No. Don't reach over and offer to light a cigarette. She can do it. She's okay. Don't lean across the aisle. Got plenty of time. It'll happen soon enough. So just relax and just let it happen. You know what you're doing, boy. That old
Mahoney technique.
Yes, sir. Hi, bud.
Hi.
Yes, sorry. Well, Alfred. Hello there, little lady. How are you, huh? Hey, you mind if I take your seat for a minute? I'm on my way to the club car. It's a long walk. Well, that's one way to sit down, huh? Now, what's the matter? Ain't I even human? Ain't I even looked at, huh? Hey, you. Little Miss Hi-Hat. Hey.
Please go wherever you were going and leave me alone.
Ah, come on, little lady. Have a nice friendly drink with old Frank Tars. How about it, huh?
Pardon me, miss. Hey, you.
Hey, wait.
Now, just what's the idea, Buster? What are you doing in this car anyway? And what are you looking for? A good punch in the mouth, maybe?
No, he's bothering me, yes, but I don't want any trouble about this.
Oh, what's the hassle about, pal? I get off in a couple of minutes and send for doing. I don't mean to insult anybody. All I thought to...
Yeah, all you thought. Then who asked you to sit down with the young lady, huh? Who wanted you? Why I ought to...
Please, it's all right. It's perfectly all right. Just don't hit him more.
Where's your car?
Back there.
Come on, I'll take you. I said, come on. Come on.
Don't
Get
hurt
moving.
him. Don't hurt him.
It's all right, miss. Don't you worry. Come on, move on.
Hey, now, wait just a minute. You know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are.
Okay. You can let go now. Huh. So you're Bright Eyes, huh?
You can leave off the bright eyes.
Yeah, sure. It's your day to be touchy, huh? You look pretty good back in there. You see her wring her hands and wink them big brown eyes?
Where'll you be?
Compartment A next door whenever you need me. Well, she's waiting for you, Mr. Hero.
You know, I wish I had poked you, Dane.
You're a nice big New York copper, Mahoney. You got the jaw and you got the shoulders. I heard all about you. You look like you could do it. I'm just a beefy blob working out of L.A.'s Central Division, but I could whip you, boy. So easy.
I'd better get back.
Yeah, sure. I envy you, Bright Eyes. You two will make a nice couple.
He won't bother you again, miss.
Oh, you didn't hurt him or anything like that, did you?
Oh, no. I just took him back to his car and asked him to stay away from you.
Oh, it was embarrassing. This is the first time anything like this has happened to me. I'm glad you helped out. Thank you very much.
There's no trouble at all. Oh,
What?
I'm out of matches.
Oh, well, I can help you there. I have some in my purse, I think. Yes. Here you are.
Thanks. Would you, grab a cigarette?
Well, thank you, yes. Why don't you sit down? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. What?
My goodness, it was kind of funny, wasn't it? He was so tight.
Yes. Yes, it was funny. The old razzmatazz. Don't ask, just answer. Don't laugh, but smile. Let her see your teeth. Don't move close, but let her know that you've got shoulders there, boy. And the other trick. Keep your hands open, spread out. Talk. Then stop. Look a while. Watch the orange groves go by. Watch the houses go by. Watch your life go by.
What? Oh, my goodness. You must have money in the bank. You're talking to yourself. What's the trouble?
I think I'll stop looking around out there. It's beginning to worry me. Too big or too empty or too something, I don't know. You, like it, do you?
Oh, it's lovely. The most beautiful country I've ever seen in my life. It's breathtaking. Oh, and people call me Jenny.
Jenny for Genevieve, huh?
Yep. Jenny Johnson.
Well, they call me Mahoney. And, some other things sometimes. My name's Harry. Oh, where are you heading anyway? All the way east?
All the way and more. Bayside Hills, Pennsylvania. I work in a dentist's office there.
Now, that's funny. Maybe the suntan threw me. You know, I kind of thought you lived in L.A. And mostly that you didn't work.
Oh, dear. Well, I did live there for 3 weeks in a simply marvelous garden apartment in Hollywood. Right off Sunset Boulevard. They had a heated pool. Oh, it was wonderful.
It sounds expensive.
Oh, it was. Terribly. But I shared it with a couple of other girls off and on. Advertised in the papers, you know. Only?
Well, go on. Something happened?
Only, maybe I'm funny in some ways. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but some things I just... Well, there's not much point in going into that part.
I get it. You got stuck with a cute little blonde who always wore your clothes or something.
Cute? Oh, not for my money, thank you. What happened, anyway, was that she got out last week after one of her parties. When I said what I had to say, she got out pretty darn fast, believe you me. My goodness, did I say something? Why are you staring at me?
Who? What? Oh, staring at you. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, that's all right. My goodness. For some reason, it seemed like you were looking at me for the first time.
I seen you go to dinner with her. You ain't doing okay, Bright Eyes.
Yeah, but it doesn't add up. 2 homespun for this trick.
Huh? Now, what's she done? Thrown up a smoke screen? That homespun stuff's all part of the act. She's Fritzy's girlfriend, all right? Remember, you're the operator, boy, not her.
She's going to a place in Pennsylvania.
She told you she's got a little old mother and a little old father waiting for her back home?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great act. She's just a better actor than you are. Now, there's nothing in her luggage on the baggage car, but Fritzy must have slipped her some little trick in her. Hey, it took a lot of fixing to set this up, getting you the space across from her and all, so keep your eyes on her, Bright Eyes. That's what you're here for. Keep on her.
Hi.
Just a glass of water?
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be getting pretty late, doesn't it? Hadn't we better call it a night?
Oh,
What?
Why... Well, couldn't we sit here another half hour and just talk about things? Why couldn't we?
Oh, I suppose we could. That is, if you don't expect...
Oh, I don't expect anything.
Well, we'll talk about what?
We'll talk about you.
Oh, no, we won't. There's nothing to talk about.
That isn't the way I heard it.
Oh, you didn't hear anything about me.
You'd be surprised, sister.
What?
Nothing.
I don't think you want to talk very much, do you?
No, I want to find out something.
Harry, no.
Oh, anything the matter?
No, please. I don't care for that sort of thing. You promised. You said...
Oh.
Please?
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. First minute it got dark, though, you had to try it.
I told you, I'm sorry.
Forget it.
You know, I'd like to tell you something. I'm not that kind of a guy. I never was. I've had so much of that stupid messing around.
Oh, so much of it? I see. Well, I haven't. And I don't think I'm sorry, either. I want it to mean something with me, and it won't be stupid. That's silly.
No, it isn't.
It's awfully late, really it is. I'll see you tomorrow.
Kansas City Star! Get your Kansas City Star here. Star here. Kansas City Star.
It's about time. Why didn't you come back last night?
I didn't feel like it.
Did you get anything else done?
I went through her suitcase when she was asleep.
Yeah?
Dresses and things, shoes, bathrobes, some stuff for underneath, that's all. The dress cost maybe $15 at the outside. It was the most expensive item there. And that suit that she's wearing went for $40 at a sale. You know that.
All right, so she's smart enough not only to act it, but to have the right props.
This isn't Fritzy's girlfriend. He wouldn't know one like this, and she wouldn't have one like him.
That's the second time you've said that. How do you know?
I just know. I found out.
You're getting older and you're getting dumber, Bright Eyes. You getting fed up?
She'd never have anything to do with somebody like Fritzy. I told you that once before, too.
Hey.
What?
Fritzy.
What?
Just walked by outside the window carrying a suitcase. Yeah, that's him, all right.
Yeah.
Getting on this car. You see the little guy in the overcoat with the cigarette?
You're right. It's Fritzy Hollister.
Yeah, sure, I'm right. He just sat down beside Genevieve Josephine Johnson from Pennsylvania.
Well, you know, it looked like it could be just a coincidence.
So she's a nice kid, huh? Couldn't have anything to do with a bum like Fritzy, huh?
Come on.
Now, stay where you are. We'll make our play when the time comes.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Victor Mature as star of The Girl in Car 32. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
The car for me, Harlow.
You mean that new Packard that just passed, Jim?
Yes, sir. That's the popular price Packard Clipper with the power and luxury that only Packard can put into a car. And have you seen the Packard Patrician? That's the finest car ever to bear that famous Packard name.
A name we're privileged to salute tonight on Suspense. Packard, an outstanding member of our worldwide Autolite family.
Well, Packard is outstanding in every way. Its ruggedness and dependability have withstood the most tortuous tests that Packard engineers can devise. Packards have proved over and over that they have what it takes under every road and weather condition. Yes, sir, Harlow, when you get an Autolite-equipped Packard, you get real value. And you get a car with one of the most famous of all fine car names, Packard.
Yes, and Autolite is proud of its long association with Packard and with Packard dealers everywhere.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Victor Mature in Elliot Lewis's production of The Girl in Car 32, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Now use your head, Bright Eyes. It's no mistake, no crazy coincidence. Even if she sat there all day and hasn't talked to him once. The little bird in the blue overcoat is Fritzy Hollister. And you were trying to steal his girl. Use your head. She was fast enough and smart enough to spot you right off for what you were. And she handled you last night like a schoolboy. She couldn't warn him from the train. But she's given him a poke in the ribs or an elbow or something so he'll play it straight here. Sure. She's Fritzy's one chance. She'll work on you again, Bright Eyes. And watch that. Because you don't want to let either one of them slip off the hook.
Asleep?
No.
Cup of water?
No.
I'll drink it myself. I can't sleep. Not with that strange man over there.
What's so strange about him?
What?
Skip it.
Do you feel like talking?
Sure, let's talk. Why not? Sit down.
Thank you. Well, I wonder what this stop is going to be.
I'm glad you wanted to talk. But suppose you drop the rude girl routine, huh?
My goodness. You're all right in the daytime, but at night you come out with the silliest things. Say, what do you mean by that?
Big laugh. Big laugh for you.
What?
For a couple of minutes last night, I was stupid enough to believe you, sister.
What?
Not now, though, and don't you forget it.
What on earth are you talking about?
I said cut the act.
Well, I don't have to have anyone to talk to me like that. think you're crazy. You must be. You must have something all twisted up in your head, or you wouldn't say things like this. Oh, darn. I've been so thirsty all day. I think I'll get some water.
Stay where you are. I'll get the water.
Now, see
I'll
here,
get the water. Hi.
What's the idea of leaving them together when we come in a station?
I'm sick of it. It happens here or else.
Now, look.
Shut up.
Hey, Fritzy jumped over in your seat.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her.
Yeah, he had to sooner or later. Right now, she's telling him I'm a cop, and they'd better scram out while the scramming's good.
You hit it on the head, boy. There he goes, heading for the door.
He won't make it.
Hey.
Come on. Hey, Fritzy. Go on. I've been waiting for you to try something like this. Your girlfriend's pretty smart.
Look out, Bright Eyes. He's got a gun.
No, you don't. Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
No good, Fritzy. No good. Are you okay?
Yeah, here. Hold on to it.
All right. Hey, where you going?
To get his girlfriend. I want to attend to her personally. All right, stand back. Stand back. Get out of the way.
Hey, what's all this? What?
Police officers, keep these people back.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll do that, sir.
What on earth is this?
Stole that baby. This is a pinch.
What?
Come on. Up on your feet. We've got Fritzy in a huddle.
Oh, you're hurting me.
And you're killing me with those big brown eyes.
Why, you just...
Pretty smart you were, only you forgot one little thing. You forgot the first rule of Broadway. Never hustle or hustler. Just who do you think you had anyway? Some clown on the train or Bright Eyes Mahoney? Cut up the tears. Come on.
Now then, what's it all about, Sergeant Mahoney? We can keep the man for carrying a gun.
That'll do for a starter. We've got 1 million charges against him. He pulled the biggest jewelry heist in the country last year.
You can get some papers out here to me?
Sergeant Danes is phoning Los Angeles right now.
All right. Now, what about the lady?
Hold her, too, for disturbing the peace if you have to. She's Fritzy's girlfriend. She'll be named accomplice.
Oh, I see. Well, she sure cries a lot. I'll hold them for you. Anything else you want from me?
Hey, Bright Eyes. We got a mix-up.
What do you mean?
Well, you're a little mixed up, boy. That's what I mean. I've been on the phone to L.A. straightening it out for you. Fritzy's old girlfriend and that other one had the apartment together in L.A., okay? But that's all. She's not tied up with Fritzy. She never was.
Why'd you meet her on the train?
Because Fritzy's girlfriend left an old trunk after her in the storeroom. How was this Johnson dame to know that there was a couple of $100,000 worth of stolen jewelry in the false bottom? Naturally, Fritzy wanted it back, so he found out this tomato you were bright-eyeing with was coming east, so he just grabbed a plane so he could meet her in K.C. He wanted that trunk, boy.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Well, sir, that's it. She's no more Fritzy's new girlfriend than I am. You know, it's funny how things work out. The trunk's been in a hock shop in L.A. all the time. Little Miss Muffet got rid of it to clean up the place when she moved. What's the matter? You sick or something?
I told you she wasn't Fritzy's girlfriend. I told you.
Well, I got that all straightened out for you now, Bright Eyes, so you...
Write out a release, will you, Sheriff, for Jenny Johnson?
Sure. I'd like to. You know, I wanted to do just what you did ever since that fella started talking. He bothers me.
The next one will be through tomorrow morning, Jenny.
Thank you.
It's a real nice train, streamliner and all. They have a compartment for you. Jenny, can I say anything? Can I do anything? You know, when I remember what I was beginning to feel in my heart and what I've done to you, I just...
In what? In your heart. Oh, you proved it, didn't you?
Oh, Jenny,
well,
look,
that's all right, Bright Eyes. I heard them call you that. You're very clever with all women, and I'm very stupid, I suppose. I didn't even know the first rule of Broadway. But I know what I want anyway. I want you to leave me alone. I don't ever want to see you again.
Jenny, I know what I want. I found out sitting in that seat beside you.
You just get away from me. The things you said to me and the way you act. Because what? Because you cared for me, I suppose.
Because I cared for you, Jenny. You know something? I'm going to be on that train with you tomorrow morning. Yes, sir, Jenny. I'm going to be on that train with you.
Suspense, presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Victor Mature.
This is Harlow Wilcox again. Remember, you now have a good chance to do your favorite local or national recognized charity the favor of a lifetime. If you're one of the 25 persons selected in the huge Autolite family charity drawing, you can name any recognized charity you wish to receive a big share of $100,000 in cash. Those charities can be schools, hospitals, churches, the American Red Cross, or any other recognized charity. So if you're 18 years or over, visit any of the following Autolite family car showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Print your name and address on the drawing registration form and have the car dealer sign it. That's all. Nothing to buy, try, or solve. So give your favorite recognized charity a chance to share in this huge $100,000 Autolite family opportunity. Visit any Autolite family car showroom and sign up tomorrow.
Next week, the story of a man who found that everything was against him. His wife distrusted him. His best friend had to give him an alibi, all because of a girl. A dead girl. It's called The Guilty Always Run. Our star, Mr. Tyrone Power. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Marwick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Girl in Car 32 was written for Suspense by E. Jack Newman from the story by Thomas Walsh. In tonight's story, Kathy Lewis was heard as Jenny and William Conrad as Dane. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Joseph Kearns, Roy Glenn, and John Daner.
Victor Mature appeared by arrangement with 20th Century Fox, producers of Prince Valiant in Technicolor and Cinescope, starring James Mason, Janet Leigh, and Robert Wagner. And remember next week, Mr. Tyrone Power in The Guilty Always Run. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Tyrone Power in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a man who found that everything was against him. His wife distrusted him. His best friend had to give him an alibi, all because of a girl, a dead girl. Our story is called The Guilty Always Run. Our star, Mr. Tyrone Power.
$100,000. That's the huge total to be given away in cash through the Autolite family charity drawing. If you're one of 25 persons selected, you will name your favorite church, club, hospital, or other recognized charity to share a total of $100,000. And now, it's our privilege to hear what Fleet Admiral William F. Halsey, campaign chairman of the Mental Health Fund, says about this great opportunity.
Money, such as that being offered in this Autolite family charity drawing, can do much to aid the research which will not only help cure, but prevent mental illness. If you are selected, I urge you to remember the vital work of the Mental Health Fund.
You can enter this drawing by just signing your name and address on a registration form at any or all of these Autolite family car dealers. DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Help your favorite local or national charity share in $100,000. Sign up tomorrow.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed The Guilty Always Run, starring Mr. Tyrone Power, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
To leave me alone all evening like that. It's way after 12 and...
Listen, you told me it was all right. You told me to go.
Answer the phone, will you?
Okay.
Or do you expect me to leap across the room
Okay. Hello? Hello? Anybody there?
Well?
Nobody there.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard something. Hello?
Somebody playing a joke, Jeff?
I guess so.
Karen?
Now, don't start anything, Janie, huh?
Was it Karen?
Janie, baby. Janie.
What?
Listen.
Sure, sweetie. What do you want me to listen to?
It's not my fault you've got your hip in a cast.
It's not your fault I've got my hip in a cast, dear.
Oh, cut it out, will you?
I'm clumsy. I go along on vacations to the beach and fall off a surfboard and break my hip, and my husband meets another... Are you going to answer the phone?
No.
Bring the phone over to me, Jeff. Let me answer it.
Sure. Here.
Hello?
What's the matter?
You tell me.
I asked you a question. What's the...
Here, you take the phone.
Hello? Who is this? Hello?
Help me, Jeff.
Yes, this is...
Jeff.
This is Jeff. Who... Hello? Well, whoever it was hung up, Janie.
Who was it, Jeff?
I don't know.
Was it Karen?
Now, why don't you cut that out?
It was a girl. Was it Karen? Karen sounded like she needed help.
Loaded, probably.
What does she look like? You never told me.
Very tanned, very tall.
And very beautiful.
She really is.
Calling here after midnight. Doesn't she know you're married? Didn't you tell her?
I told her.
You better go see if she's all right.
Now, listen. Karen...
You'd better go see.
Yeah. The drive was 8 miles from Zuma Beach. Nearly 2 in the morning and a full moon and a few clouds and phosphorescence riding the lip of the surf. No one was home at Karen Lawrence's house. Her white convertible wasn't there either. I went home. Janie was sleeping, so I waited till morning to tell her. Then I went out on the beach and started to work on the surfboards with Lou, a friend of mine who'd taken the place next door.
You know how I'd raise this, then?
How?
Put a beer bottle cap on it, then set a hot iron on the cap, but then it'll pop right up.
Yeah, I might try it when...
Hi.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
I'm Phyllis George. Which one of you is Jeff?
Not Lou, huh?
Jeff.
Always Jeff.
Me.
What did you do with Karen?
What are you talking about?
I drove out to see her. We were going shopping today. She's not home. The inside of her house is a wreck.
Why ask me?
She told me yesterday she was going to load up her surfboard and try to trap you into some moonlight surfing. How did she make out?
She made out good.
Yeah, we went surfing.
Where's Karen, Sonny? All right, baby. I'm going to the cops.
finished resurfacing the boards after that. Not much talk. I kept looking down the road for the cops that girl promised. No cops. After a while, I said to Lou, see you, and went back to Janie. Carried her out to the strand of white beach we bought for the summer. Oiled her back and her shoulders and her arms and then her face. Then lay down and set the ball of sun spinning. And that's how a day got done. Around 10 that night, the moon was low but gaining altitude fast.
Jeff?
Yeah, honey?
It's a beautiful night out there. Very beautiful.
Uh-huh.
No sense you sitting around listening to the radio. Why don't you take the board, go surfing in the moonlight?
No, Janie,
Listen to me, sweetie. If I could, I'd go with you. There's nothing right now I want more to do. So you go, huh, sweetie? Don't let me ruin all of it for you.
Oh, Janie, I don't mind.
You go, take the board and go because I asked you to. Because I want you to.
I went. And the waves were coming in gentle and fast and moon-crested from about 150 yards offshore. I paddled the board out, easy and slow, to where the moon was shaping them. It's where I saw her. Karen. Her hair floating and woven in a web of kelp, and her face moon-white, and her lips and splotches of color on her throat where the bruises were. Karen in the wet shroud of a silk dress. Dead Karen. In the sodden jacket I'd lent her the night before. When I got back to the house, Janie was asleep. I didn't wake her. I got into some clothes, went out to the car.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah, it's me, Lou. Lou, come out here a minute, will you?
Sure. I couldn't sleep. I was reading. I heard the car, and I thought maybe...
Something I want to tell you about last night, Lou. Something you don't know.
All I know about last night is that you and Karen went surfing by moonlight. This morning, a girl named Phyllis rode up and yelled cop in your face because no more beautiful Karen. After that, I lose you.
Just listen to me, huh?
Well, I'm listening, Jeff.
Well, like you said, I went surfing with her. After that, she needled me into taking her to that joint down the highway for a beer.
It's been done. A beautiful girl sometimes merits a beer. Ah, Janie doesn't know about it, huh? That's what you're trying to say?
And something else.
All right, something else.
It was while we were in the joint. Well, you know Karen. You'd know what she...
Yeah, if only you batted an eye. Is that what you did, Jeff?
I had to walk out on her. She followed me out. I told her off. Put her in her car and told her off for the rest of time.
Married, you said to her. Happily married.
And a couple of other things I said. She cried, and then she drove off. I walked the beach for a long time.
Jeff.
It's the last I saw her, Lou. I swear it. I swear it.
What's eating on you, kid?
A little while ago, I found her. Floating in a kelp bed. Dead. I think murdered.
Where were you going just now, Jeff?
To the police.
Jeff.
Yeah?
Police is where grief is.
What?
You told Karen off, you said, and never saw her again. You swore it when I didn't even know what you were talking about.
Don't you believe me?
Police is where grief is. Police and Karen murdered can burst wide open what you got with Janie. You forgot a thing, Jeff.
What?
You didn't walk a lonesome beach last night. You left Karen, you came to my house. We sanded the surfboards. Isn't that what you forgot?
Lou.
From me to you, an alibi. An alibi maybe you don't need, but from me to you. Because of what you and Janie mean to me.
Because of what he said. Because it was a big grief. Because it might kill what it was Janie and I had together. A summer and beach and sky and sea and a love I had for her. I waited till Lou had gone back into his house. Then I swam out to where Karen was. I took off her the jacket I'd lent her the night before. I swam back to shore and found a littered strand of beach and burned the jacket. And buried the scorched rags. And I went home and slept. And it was Janie who woke me.
Jeff, there's a fellow outside.
Huh?
Huh? A fellow. Outside. Wants to talk to you.
Who?
A Mr. Anders. A policeman.
Look, Janie, no matter what. That phone call last night.
From Karen? That phone call?
No matter what, don't say anything about it. Nothing.
A fellow's waiting at the door for you, Jeff.
No matter what, do you hear? No matter... You want to see me?
You Jeff Marlowe?
That's right.
Swimmer found a girl out in the kelp this morning. Girl we all know around here. Karen Lawrence.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
She was murdered, Mr. Marlowe, strangled. Somebody killed her and put her out on the tide. Let's go inside and talk about it.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Tyrone Power with Kathy Lewis and William Conrad in The Guilty Always Run. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Hey, Marty, what's the rush?
Oh, hiya, Harlow. I can't stop now. I'm coming from a preview of the new 54 Kaiser, and I've got to get over to the paper and write the story.
Hey, they call it the new car with the big change, don't they?
Right. There's a big change in styling, front, back, and inside. And there's more room and comfort than ever before. Man, the new Kaiser is luxurious.
How about the new Kaiser's power?
Oh, there's a big change there, too, with new superpower. The Kaiser has a revolutionary new engine that gives you power on demand. It's like having two engines in one. For normal driving, you get Kaiser's famous economy. But when you need an extra burst of power and pickup for passing, or for zooming up hills, you get it. On demand.
Wow, that sounds exciting, Marty. And tonight we are privileged to salute Kaiser as an outstanding member of our Autolite family. Autolite is proud of its long association with Kaiser and Kaiser dealers everywhere.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Tyrone Power in Elliot Lewis's production of The Guilty Always Run, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Karen Lawrence, Mr. Marlowe. How come she's dead?
I don't know.
Jeff?
Oh, it's nothing, Janie. This gentleman just wants to know if I know Karen Lawrence.
Why does the gentleman want to know that, Jeff?
Well...
Why do you want to know that?
She's dead.
That's not the question I asked you.
She was murdered.
That's still not the question.
Asking around about her, your husband's name gets mentioned more than anybody else's.
I see.
And she was murdered, all right, in case you've got any doubt about it. Strangled. Bruise marks here and here. 2 thumbs, you know. Wearing all her clothes. Good swimmer, I understand, so we've got a tab at murder. And I've got to ask, Mr. Marlowe, if you killed her.
No, sir, I did not.
But you know her.
Well, yes, sir.
Now, look, you don't have to yes, sir, and no, sir, me.
Okay.
You were with her last night. We got that from Phyllis George, a friend of hers.
Well, look, this is what happened. One day, Karen comes up from Malibu with a board and pretty helpless about getting it from her car to the surf.
Yeah, when was this?
10 days ago. 11.
11. The afternoon of the morning I broke my hip.
Well, I can pick it all up till yesterday, Marlowe. Talk has it she liked you.
Did Talk have it I tried to ignore her?
Yes, it did.
Did Talk have it that right off I told her I was married?
Yes, it did. I also checked next door, your friend Lou Foster. He says he was with you around the time the girl was probably killed.
Then what are you coming around here for?
What about the bar? Bar on the Coast Highway near Topanga Canyon, Marlowe. Barkeep said that you were...
Okay. Like a fool, I took her down there for a beer night before last.
Night before last is when she was killed.
To talk it out, to tell her to stay away. Look, maybe to you it sounds...
Now, don't get yourself excited, Marlowe. That's just what I do. Dame was chasing me, didn't want her to. Take her some quiet place and talk to her. Adult, over a beer. Well, I hope your hip gets better, Mrs. Marlowe.
Thanks.
And thank you for your courtesy, both of you.
Sure.
Jeff,
Yeah?
you didn't tell me you took her for a drink.
Just for a beer.
Oh.
Now look, Janie.
To tell her not to love you anymore, Jeff? What's been going on, anyhow?
Hello?
Mr. Marlowe?
That's right. Who's this?
Norm.
Norm?
Yeah, Norm Sloan, Mr. Marlowe. I got the Topanga Eatery on the Coast Highway. You've been in here. In fact, night before last, you were in here with Karen Lawrence. I understand from the police that Karen...
What do you want?
I can't talk to you over the phone, Mr. Marlowe, but I wish you'd stop in here any time in the next half hour or so. If I were in your shoes, I would, Mr. Marlowe. Bye.
Who was it?
Nobody.
Who was it, Jeff?
Nobody. I'm going out.
You don't want to hear my troubles, Mr. Marlowe, so I'll just tell you this. I didn't tell that policeman about the argument you and that girl had in here. Since you were the only ones in here, then I'm the only one who knows about it. And what happened out front when you left. How she was carrying on and crying. And from what Mr. Anders, that policeman, said, she must have been murdered a couple hours after you left here with her. Now, look, I don't know what you told the police, but you came down when I called, Mr. Marlowe, so what am I to figure? As long as you're here, Mr. Marlowe, I'd like to know what it feels like to go out to Santa Anita with $1,000 and not care if I win or lose. With $1,000, Mr. Marlowe. Today, Mr. Marlowe.
$1,000? For what, Jeff? For what I need. To buy off a murder charge.
Are you crazy, kid?
You got it, Lou. You going to give it to me?
You're crazy? How deep into it can you get? $1,000 now? or $1,000 a week, maybe, for the rest of your life? And
You're
then
not going to do it, huh? You're not going to give it to me.
Who you buying from, Jeff?
Sloan. Runs the beer joint on the highway. He saw me and Karen outside his...
$1,000, huh? He must have seen a lot.
You'll get it back, Lou. Every nickel.
All right, Jeff. Drive me to my bank. And, Jeff...
Thanks.
That's not what I meant. This is what I meant. This'll do it, Jeff. It's as far as I can go. So luck and a long life, kid.
We just stared at each other for a while. Then I had to lift his hand from his side to shake it. And no more talk. I drove him to his bank. Lou got the money. He gave it to me. I drove him to his house and then went to Sloan's joint. Bought a bottle of beer. Drank half of it. Paid him $1,000 for it. Sloan laughed from deep in his stomach.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Who is this? I'm sorry. There's no one here.
Honey, baby, it's Jeff.
No, there's no one here by that. Jeff, listen. The police are here.
What do you...
That you, Marlowe? This is Anders, Marlowe, Sheriff's Office. Now listen. Sloan, that beer joint fella, he called the office a little while ago and said you offered him $100 to keep his mouth shut.
$100?
Now you come in, Marlowe, because when you did that, you practically signed a confession. Marlowe, you understand what's happening to you, don't you? You understand what's going to happen to you?
I let the receiver hang and let him talk into nothing, and I ran. Off the coast highway, down the beach. A couple of miles. Farther to Santa Monica Pier. Farther to Ocean Park. Me. Wanted for murder. Because Karen, dead Karen, wanted a part of my life, and I wouldn't give it to her. Because her girlfriend stuck her face into mine and yelled, "Cop." Girlfriend, Phyllis George. I found her address in the Venice phone book. I went there. Rooming house overlooking one of the phony canals they have. Second floor rear. Phyllis. Scared. Staring. Holding it in.
You just get out, you hear? Just keep away from me.
You gotta help me, understand? Things you know about Karen. Fellas she knew. One fella maybe who wanted her dead.
You did it. Nobody wanted her dead.
Help me. Help me.
What was it you had with Karen? It makes you choke her and kill her and throw her out into the ocean like she was...
I didn't kill her.
You get out of here, huh? Because you scare me. Because you...
Just listen, huh? Anything you know about her that I can take to the cops.
Keep away. Keep away. Kill her. Kill her. Kill...
Shut up. Shut up.
Like Karen, huh? That's how you choke? That's what you did to her, killer? That? Like you wanted to do to me just now?
No, I don't. Don't do...
Hello.
Lou, this is Jeff.
Where are you, kid?
Listen. How's Janie? I didn't call her because the line's probably tapped or something. How's Janie, Lou?
She's okay. Where are you?
I want you to meet me, Lou. Tell me how things are going. I gotta talk to somebody.
Sure. Where are you?
Phone booth outside a drive-in laundry in Venice. Rose and 3rd Avenue.
I'll pick you up there, kid.
Right away, Lou.
Right away. How you feeling, kid?
Scared, Lou.
Yeah, I'll bet.
How did I get into this, Lou? What happened? Why am I running away?
Jeff, let's not...
Let's not what?
Let's not kid.
Huh?
Because I'm in this, too. That alibi I gave you.
Oh, what do you mean, let's not kid, Lou?
The way you pounced on the alibi, paying blackmail. Is that any way for an innocent...
You're saying what, Lou?
Come on, Jeff.
You really think I killed her, don't you?
Listen, Jeff, Janie and I were talking.
Janie thinks I killed her.
Yeah. Yeah, she does, Jeff. You asked and I told you.
Okay. What are we stopping for?
This is where you're getting out.
What are you talking about? Hey, what is this?
Open the door, Marlowe. That's the boy. Now come on out. That's it. You can slide out too, Mr. Foster.
Sure.
Lou.
That's right. I told Mr. Anders I'd bring you here, kid.
Look, I didn't kill her. I did a lot of things wrong, but I didn't...
Just don't whimper, Jeff, huh? The old nerve, kid. Like sliding in on a big one. Like the thrill things, kid, huh? Like you and Karen.
It wasn't like that.
How was it, kid, huh? What was the formula? Flex a muscle and be polite. Brown eyes looking up at you, and here, take my coat. You must be cold, and let's have a beer and back to the beach.
Ooh.
Back to the beach, and after all of it, she was only kidding all the time. What did you strangle her for?
The coat, Lou. How did you know about it?
What?
The coat. My coat I put on her.
Sure, the one she was drowned in.
There was no coat.
I went back there after she'd been murdered. Took the coat from her and burned it. The same crazy reason I did everything wrong. How'd you know about the coat, Lou?
Now, look.
Nobody knew about that coat but me. And whoever killed her.
Then why did you come running to me for an alibi?
I didn't, Lou. You suggested I ought to have one. You would be my alibi. That way you'd have one, too.
What about it, Foster?
What can he say? Those phone calls. Call and hang up till Janie got on the line. Then let Janie listen to her in pain and calling out my name. Start suspicion right at home base. You really built it, didn't you?
We'd better go.
Hey, don't shoot that, Foster! Stop! Hey, don't!
didn't die. He'll stand trial. Summer's fading and vacation's long over. But sometimes on weekends, Janie drives me out to Point Dume. And we sit there. And we watch the sunset ride in on the long, slow curve of surf. And we don't talk.
Suspense, presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Tyrone Power.
This is Harlow Wilcox again. If you're one of the 25 persons selected in the huge Autolite family charity drawing, you can name any recognized charity you wish to receive a big share of $100,000 in cash. Those charities can be schools, hospitals, churches, the Mental Health Fund, or any other recognized charity. So if you're 18 years or over, visit any of the following Autolite family car dealer showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Print your name and address on the registration form and have the car dealer sign it. That's all. Nothing to buy, try, or solve. So help your favorite recognized charity share in this $100,000 total. Visit any Autolite family car dealer showroom and sign up for the Autolite family charity drawing tomorrow.
Next week, a story based on fact. The dramatic report of a murderer and how he spent 7 hours with a young lady before he killed her. It's called Somebody Help Me. Our star, Mr. Cornell Wilde. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Guilty Always Run was written for Suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. In tonight's story, Kathy Lewis was heard as Janie and William Conrad as Lou. Featured in the cast were Charlotte Lawrence, Frank Nelson, and Jack Crucian.
Tyrone Power may currently be seen in the 20th Century Fox picture, King of the Khyber Rifles, in CinemaScope and Technicolor.
And remember, next week, Mr. Cornell Wilde in Somebody Help Me.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Cornell Wilde in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents a story based on fact. The dramatic report of a murderer and how he spent 7 hours with a young lady before he killed her. It's called Somebody Help Me. Our star, Mr. Cornell Wilde.
How would you like to feel that you have been responsible for your church, hospital, local YMCA, or other local or national recognized charity sharing in $100,000? Well, you can be if you are one of 25 selected in the huge $100,000 Autolite family charity drawing. Now, here is what Mr. Mortimer Brandt, president of the National Cancer Foundation, says about the Autolite family charity drawing.
The Autolite family charity drawing makes it possible for you to provide needed care to the victims of advanced cancer. I sincerely hope that you will designate the National Cancer Foundation as your charity.
Friends, don't delay another day. Visit any one or all of these Autolite family car dealer showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Fill out a registration form for the Autolite family charity drawing and be the one to help your favorite church, hospital, or other local or national recognized charity share in $100,000. Sign up tomorrow for sure.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed the remarkable characterization of Mr. Cornell Wilde in Somebody Help Me, hoping once again to keep you in suspense. You are witness to a murder, a violence in a town on the eastern seaboard, an act of rage and of fury striking out from a place of darknesses deep within a man, which became someone's death. And here is the murderer.
Now, you listen to me, Shirley, honey. I need you. I'm lonely for you, honey. Like all day today, like now, honey.
Making the little whimpering sounds busting in here like you did when you got no right.
I've got a right, Cheryl, being a husband to you like I was for so long.
Husband. Eddie, gentle talking Eddie, who made my life miserable and ugly. Because he's a...
You tell me, honey. What am I?
What you are, I don't have to think about anymore. Or worry about, or get ashamed about.
You don't want to understand, do you, Cheryl? You're not even trying to, honey.
It's over, Eddie. I don't have to try anymore. We're divorced 3 months now. And I'm doing great, doing fine. So who needs you, Eddie? I don't care what happens to you anymore.
No, don't say a thing like that, honey. All you got to do is like me again like you used to.
Stay away from me.
Don't talk like that. Your throat goes hard when you talk like that. Hard instead of soft the way I remember.
Ellie.
Don't do that, Cheryl.
The scissors, Eddie. If you touch me once more, I'll kill you. So help me, I'll kill you.
The murderer, who then got into his car and drove through the city, through drifting twilight of early autumn, through the ending of a quiet Sunday, and into a street lined with maple. At the corner, a girl waiting for a bus.
Hey, Eileen!
Eileen, victim.
Eileen Hall. It's me, Ed. Eddie Franklin. Not just some guy trying to pick up.
Ed. I'm sorry. I really did think you were some fresh kid or something.
Can I drive you someplace, Eileen?
Well,
it's no trouble, honest. I was just driving around. Oh, no special place to go. No one to see. You give me a real pleasure.
Well, if you're sure it's no trouble.
My pleasure, honest. Come on, my pleasure. Hop in.
Eileen, dear, wait.
Who's that?
Just Lois Anderson's a girlfriend of mine I was visiting with today. I just left her house a few minutes ago. Do you mind if I...
Oh, no, not one little bit. You go right ahead, Eileen. I'll wait.
What is it, Lois? Something I forgot to give you, dear. A little present I had for you. I wrapped it nice. You can open it when you get home.
Oh, thanks, Lois.
Don't keep your fellow waiting, dear. Whoever he is. Anyone I know?
I don't think so. Thanks again, Lois.
Well, I was coming out of my house and I saw the car drive up and stop, and I thought...
All right, I know him. He's a friend.
Good night, Lois.
All set?
Yes, Ed, thanks for...
Don't mention it. Where to, miss?
Well, I was just waiting for the bus to go home.
Oh, you have to do that? Go home?
No. Not really. I thought I'd get to bed
because
early.
I was just going to say...
Yes?
Well, I was just going to say if you don't really have to go home, well...
Yes?
Well, there's a driving up the road, and I thought maybe we'd stop and have a sandwich before... I mean, if you want to, Eileen.
That's very sweet of you, Ed. I'd like to.
Oh, my pleasure, Eileen.
Your sandwiches, folks, and the Cokes. If you'll just adjust your window. Well, thanks. I'll just screw this tray on tight. Well, there you are, folks. Be happy.
Well, thanks, honey. Now, let's see. This is your sandwich, Eileen, and this is mine. You want a straw for your drink?
No, thanks. I like to crunch the ice. Ed?
Mm-hmm.
Your wife, has she,
Oh, that's done and finished. Eileen, I told her off good today. I said, stop bothering me. Stop hanging around. Stop calling me. And we're divorced, I said, and if that doesn't mean anything to you, it sure does to me, I said. Why? Did you think that...
I don't know what I thought, Ed. I just wondered A couple of times I met you, you talked about her, and I...
Eileen.
Yes?
I'm glad I happened to see you waiting there on the corner tonight. You know, I was just driving around and nothing to look forward to. And there you were in the twilight.
Why, Ed.
Well, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Nothing's the matter. It's the way you said that. I didn't suspect you could...
Oh, well, I've got 1 million of them. A whole million.
You're fun, Ed. I think I like being with you.
Well, me too, Eileen. And I wanted to call on you so many times, but... What?
Hey, pal. Want to move your car a little bit? So as I can park in that space next to you. You hear me, pal? Oh, one of those, huh?
Shut up!
Ed, all you got to do is just pull over a little and...
He's got no right to. I'll show him. I'll show that loudmouth. Now, what's with you, big mouth? You figure I own the world or something?
Oh, I got me one of those. What are you, a miser kid? You collect parking spaces? All you got to do is move your car a little.
I'm not going to, big mouth. I got there first. Me and my girl, we don't want to move. We're not going to move.
Yes, you will, kiddo.
Stop it. Stop that. Stop it. You too crazy or something?
Well, you heard him, Eileen. You saw him. He shoved.
Stop it. You hear? Ed, let's get out of here. Let's go someplace else.
You want to? You really want to?
Tell him you want to, lady. All I am is hungry for a cheeseburger, so get him away from me.
Let's go somewhere else, Ed. Maybe where we can dance. Someplace that...
I know a place out on the highway where there's a jukebox.
That sounds like fun. Let's go there, Ed.
My pleasure, Eileen. Pardon me, sorry. Now, can we get through here, please?
Can we get through here, please? Says the man. Says the man.
Oh, come on. Let the lady and I through here.
Lady.
Ed.
What?
Let's get out of here. Let's not...
Now, listen, you little punk. Let us through here. We want to sit down.
Please, Ed.
Hi, lady. To you, I'll apologize.
Ed.
Now, listen, you.
I'm apologizing. You want to get through? I'll get you through. Get out of the way. Out of the way. Let these two good people by. Let them by. Table you wanted, lady?
Thank you.
Sit down, lady. Now, mister, what about me being a punk before you sit down, that is? You tell me that.
Oh, well,
Before you sit down, that is.
No, forget it. No offense. You know, all those people and bumping and everything.
Sure. And you know what?
Huh?
Hi, I'm Bernie.
Hi.
Hi, lady. I'm Bernie.
Eileen. And I'm Ed.
Hi. Mind if I do? I knew you wouldn't. Sit down, Ed, and join along. Hi.
Hello. What's the matter with you?
Get him.
Hey, Eileen.
What? What do you want? What are you laughing at?
Most of you. A long face in this kind of place.
Informal.
Yeah, friendly, Eileen. Now, we've forgotten. Come on.
Sure.
Sure it is.
Eileen?
Hi.
You see, Eileen?
Hi, Bernie.
Yeah, me too.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what you ought to do, Ed? Hold up 3 fingers and yell beer so Eileen and me can finish out the dance.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Hey, 3 beers. Hey, you, 3 beers.
I'll tell you what. You unroll the window on your side, and I'll unroll the windows on mine,
To let the country air in.
Yeah, to let the country air in.
Like we said.
Eileen. No, wait, when you're finished.
I'm finished. You want to talk to me?
Well, that's as right can be. As right can be, that's how right it is. All right, come here.
Ed, you drunk?
No, I would be, but I'm out with Eileen tonight. And when I lift up a glass, she pulls down my arm, pats my cheek, and says, "Now, Ed." And Eileen.
Oh, I had a beer, Ed.
Have a good time?
I guess.
I guess, she says. Did you see the way she was dancing?
Ed?
What?
I'm kind of ashamed.
Of what?
The kid, Bernie, dancing all those dances. And I've never done anything like that in my whole life.
Oh, come here. Come here.
Ed?
What's the matter?
Look.
What's the matter?
Nonsense.
What?
This. Better we go home.
No, better we don't, baby.
Baby? Me? Baby? Home, Ed.
Oh, no.
Where you picked me up. You did do that, didn't you? Picked me up. I must have been.
What? Out of your mind?
Better go home.
Oh, no. Now, listen, I'm lonely.
Stay away from me.
Come here, you. And all the rest of them.
Ed?
Come here. Come.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Cornell Wilde in Somebody Help Me, a story based on fact. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Hello, Harlow. Why, hello, Jim. What's the good word?
The word and the car is Chrysler, Harlow. I'm going down to pick up my new 54 Chrysler right now.
Well, we're saluting Chrysler on Suspense tonight as a distinguished member of our Autolite family.
And it'll soon be a distinguished member of my family, too, Harlow. What a car. Sleek and beautiful. But that's only part of the Chrysler story. What comfort. Chrysler seats are regular chair height with plenty of headroom and hat room. And for convenience and safety, there's Chrysler Power Steering, which is full-time power steering. Power brakes, and the most powerful engine on the road, the 235-horsepower Firepower V8 engine. Yes, sir, Harlow, my new Autolite-equipped Chrysler has everything but a driver. And I'm going to fix that right now. So long.
Bye, Jim. Tell your dealer, by the way, that Autolite is proud of its long association with Chrysler and Chrysler dealers everywhere.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage the remarkable characterization of Mr. Cornell Wilde in Elliot Lewis's presentation of Somebody Help Me, a story based on fact and well calculated to keep you in suspense. Eileen Hall was missing. 4 days after her disappearance, 2 boys were walking across a field on the outskirts of town and came across a body. Identification was made by fingerprint, and it was established that this was the missing girl. Her friends were questioned, and it became known that 3 men had been interested in Eileen. The first was a corporal at a nearby boot camp. He stated he was on duty on the night of September 10, charge of quarters. which checked with post records. Then a former shipyard worker, who it was recalled had pursued Eileen without success.
She found out I was married. I told her I was right off the bat. Politely, in the nice way she had, she told me to beat it. I was playing poker on the night of September 10th.
Which checked. A neighbor was questioned, a young man who had had several dates with her.
Maybe 5 or 6 dates. We got along, I guess, but she got tired of going out with me. Guess we ran out of things to say to each other. Last time I saw her, it was pretty miserable. That was in July sometime. September 10th, I was out with Barbara. We get along fine.
Too, on the basis of the identification, Mrs. Lois Anderson came forward, made a statement.
Eileen was visiting with me. She left my house and walked to the corner to the bus stop. I ran after her to give her a little something I'd made for her. She was just about to get into an automobile that had stopped for her. Oh, no, I never saw the man before. He wore glasses. That's all I can remember.
Medical authorities who performed an autopsy reported that Eileen had been strangled somewhere around midnight. From scraping under her nails that she had scratched her murderer, and that she had eaten a ham sandwich about an hour before her death. Therefore, a check was made of every restaurant and drive-in in the area. And one car hop said,
I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. She was with a man with glasses on. Got into some kind of fight with another customer. I can't remember just what it was about.
I see.
I remember, though, at first I thought it was my boyfriend driving up. Same kind of car, and it was fancied up the same way.
What kind of car was that?
Convertible, black convertible, plaid top.
Detective Tomasino had his men circulate through auto accessory stores, asking questions about a man who wore glasses and owned a black convertible with a plaid top. They were told that the description matched that of a man named Ed Franklin, and they furnished the policeman with an address.
He moved out when we got divorced.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Have you heard from him recently?
Oh, a couple weeks ago. Let me see.
2 Sundays before last?
Maybe. I don't know, maybe.
Did he act nervous?
He acted like he wanted to kill me.
Then he was a violent man.
I'm lucky. I've taken his last bruise.
The former Mrs. Franklin furnished the police with a detailed description. And finally, Ed Franklin was picked up in a cheap rooming house in Seattle, Washington, extradited to the town where the crime was committed.
Her name was what?
Eileen Hall.
I don't know anyone by that name.
Gilchrist.
Yes, sir. Mrs. Anderson.
Now, Mrs. Anderson, is this the man who picked up Eileen Hall?
Well, let me rock around here so... you know, the way he was sitting in the car... Well, I don't know. I just don't know. Mister?
Yeah, what do you want?
She was a very nice girl. Never got into any kind of trouble.
Well, hey, what is this?
You, recognize this man, Mrs. Anderson?
No, but he might be the man. I'm not going to put him in jeopardy because I'm not sure it is he. No, I don't recognize him.
Oh, all right, thank you.
You see?
See what?
Well, she saw the killer and she said I'm not the one.
Tell me something, Mr. Franklin.
Well, any old thing.
What were you doing in Seattle?
Well, what's that got to do with...
This is your home, Mr. Franklin. You were married here. Your job is here. Why did you go away?
Well, restless.
Why?
Well, why does a man get restless?
Tired of the same old thing?
Well, that's right.
Job, routine.
Right.
And a man gets lonesome.
And a man gets lonesome, sure.
For your wife?
Well, what about her?
I just asked if you got lonesome for her.
Divorced her.
Why?
Well, nothing was good enough for her. Well, we didn't get along. We got divorced.
Did you ever beat her?
Well, no.
Got along fine, then.
I just told you we didn't get along.
What line of work are you in?
I'm a salesman. Leather goods.
Wallets, belts, things like that?
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty good at it, too, huh?
Sure.
Then how come you were practically a vagrant in Seattle?
Huh?
Practically a vagrant in Seattle.
Well, I...
Upset about something? Running away from something?
No.
Then what?
Well, just no, that's all.
Get that boy, Gilchrist.
You.
Boy's name is Bernie, Mr. Franklin. You know him?
No.
What about it, Bernie?
It's him. How do you know him, Bernie? I stood up to him in a juke joint once, and he fell down. Then there was a girl he was with. He watched me dance with her. Hi, Ed.
Okay, Bernie. Gilchrist.
Yes, sir.
The two from the drive-in.
This way, Bernie. Okay, you two. Ever see this man before?
Yeah, that's him. Doc's driving. Almost had a fight with him.
I served him.
Girl with him when you saw him?
According to her picture in the paper, the one who was murdered.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Well? Well, what? We got the middle of it, Franklin. You went to a drive-in and had a ham sandwich. You almost had a fight there. Then you went to a juke joint and you watched Eileen Hall dance with that boy. All we need is the beginning and the end. Now, look, I no more killed Eileen than... Well, all right, sure, I knew Eileen, but what does that prove?
Nothing, except you said a few minutes ago that you didn't know her.
Well, I didn't, not really.
Well, she must have known you, else why would she get into your car?
I picked her up.
Oh, maybe, but I doubt it. I don't think she's the kind of girl who gets picked up.
Well, where you been? Every girl gets picked up.
Oh?
Well, sure, where you been?
How did you meet your wife, Franklin?
Hey, now, wait a minute, mister.
I just asked you a simple question. How did you meet your wife?
I'll leave her out of it.
Can't do that anymore, Franklin. Can't leave anything out of it. Come in, please. Sit down, please. I was just telling...
Hello, Ed.
Shirley, honey.
You're in a lot of trouble, aren't you?
Yes, I am, honey, but don't you worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it,
I don't
Ed.
want you to, honey. I don't want you to worry about anything. I'll get out of this. We'll start all over.
What?
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you here.
Ed.
I can handle anything to throw at me now.
Ed.
Oh, it's true, honey. I'm not going to deny it. I was out with this girl. We went to a drive-in, and we went to a beer place. They had music there. You know, I didn't even dance with her, honey.
Ed.
I didn't... Take it easy.
Will you listen to me?
Well, what, honey?
Ed.
Sure, honey. What do you want?
I don't care what happens to you.
Listen to her.
For what you've done. They can put you in the electric chair and they can flip the switch.
You don't care, do you? You really don't. Shirley, please. I am in trouble now, and I'm frightened. And you remember how when it started, you and me. Remember how we said we'd beat each other, Shirley? Who needs her? I can get girls anytime I want. Pick a night, pick a time. Come on, honey. Come on. Hop in, honey.
Eileen? Franklin.
What? What do you want?
You were the man Lois Anderson saw, weren't you? The woman Eileen was visiting.
Yeah.
And the man who had the fight in the drive-in.
Now, listen, that guy...
The man who had the fight in the drive-in.
Okay.
And took her to the juke joint. It was just like that boy Bernie said.
Okay.
Why did you kill Eileen Hall?
What?
Why?
What? I'm just like any other guy. I'm a good guy. But lonely sometimes, but I'm just like any other guy, not any different. Now, why did I kill her? Well, she was close to me. She wanted to go away, and I got lonesome, so I held on to her forever. You understand?
Yeah.
For the rest of her life. And listen, that's what a fellow wants from a girl. I'm no different at all.
Ed Franklin was executed for the murder of Eileen Hall. It is interesting to note that the final irrevocable clue that tracked him was his only act of kindness to his victim. The sandwich he fed her before he put his hands about her throat and strangled her. Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Cornell Wilde.
This is Harlow Wilcox again. Remember, you can now do your favorite local or national recognized charity the favor of a lifetime. If you're one of the 25 persons selected in the huge $100,000 Autolite Family Charity Drawing, you can name any recognized charity you wish to receive a big share of $100,000. Those charities can be schools, hospitals, churches, the National Cancer Foundation, or any other local or national recognized charity. So, if you're 18 years or over, visit any or all of the following Autolite Family car dealer showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Print your name and address on the registration form and have the car dealer sign it. That's all. Nothing to buy, try, or solve. So sign up tomorrow.
Next week, a story based on fact. The true report of a man who had everything going for him, but since all his dealings were illegal, it became necessary to move around more frequently than was usual. It's called Grand Theft. Our star, Mr. David Niven. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Somebody Help Me was written for Suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin, and based on research by Edward D. Radin. In tonight's story, Kathy Lewis was heard as Eileen, Mary Jane Croft as Shirley, and Joseph Kearns as Tomasino. Featured on the cast were Paula Winslow, Charlotte Lawrence, Larry Thor, Hy Averback, Sam Edwards, and Charles Calvert.
This is the CBS Radio Network. Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. David Niven in tonight's presentation of
Suspense. Tonight, Autolite presents a story based on fact. The true report of a man who had everything going for him. But since all his dealings were illegal, it became necessary to move around more frequently than was usual. It's called Grand Theft. Our star, Mr. David Niven.
What's the rush?
Well, not much time, Harlow.
For what?
Why, to enter that Autolite Family Charity Drawing.
You're right, Hap. And friends, if you haven't signed up in the greatest charity event of all time, you'd better hurry, too. You may make it possible for your own church or hospital,
or your school or club,
or any other recognized local or national charity to share in $100,000 in cash.
Tell them how simple it is to enter, Harlow.
Why, all you do is sign your name and address on a registration form at any Autolite Family car dealer. There's nothing to try or buy, nothing to solve or write. But if you're one of the 25 persons selected, you will name any recognized charity you wish to share in $100,000. So visit any or all of these car showrooms: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. There's not much time left to enter the Autolite Family Charity Drawing, so why not sign up tomorrow?
And now, Autolite presents Mr. David Niven in Grand Theft, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
Here's how it works. You appraise things. You stroll through a house, take your notes, make your calculations, and eventually you'll come up with some interesting figures on which they pay you. Of course, it's interesting work. And if one is resourceful and competent and ambitious when no one is looking, one might turn out to be wealthy.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Bentley. Oh, I was afraid you might get away.
Oh, no, my dear Mrs. Payne, just waiting to say goodbye to you.
Oh, Mr. Bentley.
Oh, Mrs. Payne.
Well, I'm glad you did wait to say goodbye. I feel I've really come to know you these last 3 days while you've been at our home appraising all of our goods.
And I to know you, dear Mrs. Payne. Oh, I really must hurry now. My plane leaves in an hour.
Mr. Bentley, I know you've seen many lovely homes in your line of work. What do you think of ours?
Oh, one of the loveliest I've ever seen. No, truly, Mrs. Payne.
Did the insurance company ask you to appraise the jewelry, too?
No, they didn't, Mrs. Payne.
Oh, dear. Well, we had such a delightful chat while you were here, and I do feel I know you. You did see my bracelet? The platinum one at dinner last night?
Oh, I couldn't help but notice it, Mrs. Banks.
Well, as a matter of curiosity, and I know you do have this knowledge, what do you think Roger paid for it?
Well, not a cent under $5,000.
Oh, then he does love me.
Be most assured of that, Mrs. Bain. Oh, I really must go now.
Well, whenever you're in Denver again, call us, won't you? Won't you, Mr. Bentley?
Of course I will. Goodbye, Mrs. Bain. You say goodbye, you take a cab to the airport, get on an airplane, and try to forget her fat face on the way to New York. However, once there, in a little pawn shop you know of on 3rd Street, that face looms before you just for one painful second.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Yeah, what you got this time? Let's see. Platinum, eh?
So I understand. What's your price?
Give you $1,500 for the thing. Take it or leave it. What?
You didn't love her enough. I'll take it. But that way is very small stuff. Cheesecake instead of caviar, if you will. No, one must broaden one's horizons, enlarge one's activities, launch into greater, more productive fields. In short, one must never be satisfied with $1,500. That would be decadent.
Well, punctual as usual.
Oh, I always like to make my little visits on time, Maud. I love you. And how is your dear old grandmother today? Is she comfortable?
She's as good as can be expected. When do we get the money?
Soon. Very soon. Now, don't be impatient. I'm going to speak to the insurance adjuster later on today. But first, I'd like to speak to Mrs. Mullen seriously. She'll be the key person in this situation.
Ben, wait.
What?
You and I, Ben, we're two of a kind, but Grandmother's not like us, and she doesn't know about us. All I want to do is just get enough money to get out of here and get married and go to Paris and forget everything.
So do I, my dear.
Well, whatever we do, does she have to be involved?
Only in a small way, love.
She's old, Ben. She's never done anything wrong in her whole life. Look, when you talk to her, be gentle. For some reason, she thinks the sun rises on your shoulders. Why, I don't know.
And your granny is a woman of supreme taste. You might as well come along. Oh, terrible house. Ghastly knickknacks.
It's all she has left in her life. These things, her memories.
Too bad she doesn't have any money any longer.
She broke her glasses yesterday. They're being fixed. You have a visitor, Grandmother.
Mrs. Mullen? Mrs. Mullen? Granny dear, good morning.
Ben, it's a wonderful morning, Ben.
Yes, it is, dear. Have you been enjoying yourself? You're looking well.
Oh, Ben, it's such a lovely morning.
Dear, I've something to talk to you about. Will you listen carefully, dear?
Ben, be gentle. Sometimes she'll answer, sometimes she won't, but she hears you.
What is it, Ben?
Now, I want you to be a very good girl and do as I ask you, dear.
Yes, Ben.
Sooner or later, possibly before the end of this week, a man will call on you.
Yes?
Now, I don't know his name, but he will represent an insurance company. Now, he will ask you certain questions about some family jewelry. Do you remember about the family jewelry? Do you remember what I told you about the family jewelry, Mrs. Mullen? Granny?
Yes, I remember, Ben.
What did I tell you?
Maud's grandfather gave it to me. Then I gave it to Maud when she was 21, and she's had it ever since, until it was stolen from her.
Very good, dear. Very, very good. And that is exactly what you will tell this man when he comes here. He'll ask you all about it.
Yes, Ben.
What's this all about? I thought the claim was all right.
Oh, it's just that I'm going to stir things up a bit. An insurance adjuster's bound to get here in the next day or two. He'll talk to you, too, Maud. You know what to tell him.
Ben, are we going to get in trouble?
Now, no one's going to get into any trouble as long as dear old Granny does what she's told.
Ben, dear.
Yes, Granny, dear?
There never was any jewelry in this family, Ben. Never. I've never told a lie, Ben. Never in my life.
You just say what I told you to say, dear, and everything will be fine. You judge the picture of an old woman who never lied, and you wonder about it. But you feel that the larger gain, the promise of it, the Paris of it, the unutterable delight of being financially exhilarated, demands that you continue the action. So you make a phone call to a certain insurance company, then you go home and await developments.
I believe you called Great Atlantic Underwriters yesterday about a claim?
I did. The people who made it asked me to find out what's delaying the matter.
I'm from Allied Adjustment Bureau, Mr. Bentley. Great Atlantic turned it over to me. My name's Coombs.
I'm happy to know you, Mr. Coombs. Come in.
Oh, thank you. I just took a chance and thought I'd drop by this morning. I'd like to ask you some questions about the claim, if I may. Party name of Mullen, Maud Mullen?
Yes. Look, I'm just getting ready for an appointment. I don't want to be late.
Oh, it'd be all right with me if you want to go on dressing while we're talking, Mr. Bentley.
Well, it would be nice to get this settled for Miss Mullen.
Yes. Oh, I see you paint.
No, I don't paint, Mr. Coombs. Other people paint. I just collect paintings.
Oh.
Pursuit of art is a natural activity with me. Paintings or any other work that I can put in my home. Anything to remind me that man is creative and not destructive.
Now, let's see if I have all this right. Chalmers Bentley, Bentley, no initial?
No.
And you're an appraiser, Mr. Bentley?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. How about now? Are you with anybody now?
No. Different insurance companies call on me at different times to make appraisals. No, we're in the same business, Mr. Coombs. Different ends, of course. I appraise fine objets d'art, rare household furnishings, jewelry, and... Well, Mr. Coombs, all of those things upon which the ordinary person would have no idea how to place a price. Does that answer you?
Yes. Do you work in New York all the time?
Most of the time. But, of course, I have to travel and sometimes even live away from here, wherever my work takes me.
You have any family here?
No. What's on your mind? Is there something wrong with the Mullen claim?
You reported the burglary for these people 6 weeks ago. You claimed that Maud Mullen was robbed of $18,000 worth of family jewelry, which you had assessed. The claim for the loss was filed 3 days later by you.
And it should have been signed, sealed, and paid off by now, don't you think, Mr. Coombs?
Well, ordinarily, it would have been paid by now, Mr. Bentley.
If I wore a tweed, do you think I could get by without a top coat?
Oh, I think so. It's quite warm outside.
I get so tired wearing a coat every time I go out, Mr. Coombs, don't you? Excuse me. Now, what's holding up the claim?
Several things. First, the burglary they reported. The police found no evidence of a forced entry in that old house of theirs.
Well, I know all that. But then I'm not a policeman. I'm not the burglar. And it wasn't my jewelry that was stolen. So I can't very well tell the police where to find the evidence. Now, can I, Mr. Coombs?
Well, it's a point to consider, Mr. Bentley. And you did file the claim for them.
Oh, just as a favor. You keep mentioning that.
There's another point, too.
I don't understand why they put a button in the back of some of these shirts. Can you get it for me, Mr. Coombs?
Oh, yes, of course. Now, as I understand it, that jewelry had been in the Mullen family some 60 years. But in all that time, it had never been insured. Now, they take out a policy 3 months ago, and just a month after your assessment, the jewelry's stolen. That strike you as something for us to look into, Mr. Bentley?
No, not at all. Oh, thank you.
Of course. Why didn't they insure it before, Mr. Bentley?
No, I don't know. I have no way of knowing.
I see. Were you in Denver last month?
Yes. Why?
Appraised some things in the house of a family named Payne?
Payne. Yes, I believe that was their name. Yes.
Did you know that 2 days after you left, Mrs. Payne discovered a platinum bracelet missing?
No, I didn't know.
Well, I know. One of the companies I represent held a policy.
Mr. Coombs, this has the flavor of an intimidating conversation. Why do you mention the incident in Denver? It has nothing to do with the claim of the Mullen family?
Well, in a way it has, but I won't go into that right now.
Oh.
Mostly that's why the payment's been held up. We just want to look into it a little more.
Mr. Coombs.
Yeah?
I know you have your little task to perform, and the very nature of your work requires you to suspicion everyone and everything. However, I appraised the jewelry in the Mullen home. I saw something of the circumstances there. They asked me to file the claim for them. When I tell them what you've just told me, perhaps they'll ask me to notify the insurance commissioner.
Well, of course you can do that for them, Mr. Bentley. That's what the insurance commissioner's there for. But I'll tell you what they'll be up against. We aren't convinced there was a burglary. And we aren't sure there was ever that much jewelry in the Mullen family. And if there was, and you assessed it, Mr. Bentley, we aren't so sure that something like what happened to Payne's platinum bracelet didn't happen to their stuff. That's how it is. Goodbye, Mr. Bentley.
Goodbye, Mr. Coombs.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. David Niven in Grand Theft, a story based on fact. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
During recent months, it has been Autolite's privilege to salute leading car manufacturer members of the Autolite family and their dealers throughout the world for many years of close association. Car dealers from coast to coast have held open house, and some 30,000 Autolite men and women have visited special automobile showings set up in 26 Autolite plants. This third annual Autolite Family Salute program will be brought to a brilliant close with the opening this coming Wednesday of the famous Easter Parade of Stars automobile show in the Grand Ballroom of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City. Here, against a colorful background of thousands of living wildflowers, record-breaking crowds will see latest car models produced by members of the Autolite family. If you are in New York City this week, we cordially invite you to the Easter Parade of Stars Auto Show at the Waldorf. And wherever you live, remember, more than 400 Autolite products are famous throughout the world for outstanding quality and performance. Yes, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. David Niven in Elliot Lewis's presentation of Grand Theft, a story based on fact and well calculated to keep you in suspense.
When one's problems become complex, one must rely on experience to carry one through. A suspicious insurance investigator can only operate on single-track theories. A resourceful insurance appraiser is quite aware of these methods and therefore regards them in the proper light. Naturally, one must be practical and bend all efforts to know where one stands.
Ben.
Well, Maud?
I've been waiting for you, Ben. Mr. Coombs was at the house.
Of course.
He was here yesterday afternoon. I tried to call you to tell you about it, but you weren't in. He spent an hour with Grandmother talking to her.
What did you ask her? What did she say?
I don't know, Ben. You know how she is sometimes. She just won't talk to anybody, no matter what you ask her.
Where were you?
That's just it. I told him she was ill and might not understand him, but he insisted on talking to her alone. There was nothing I could do. It would have looked bad if I'd...
I've got to find out what she told him.
Wait. No, not now. Something's happened to her. Right after Mr. Coombs left. Some sort of shock. The doctor doesn't know what it is. Wait till tonight. Maybe she'll be better then. No, Ben...
Let go, I said. I have to see her. Mrs. Mullen? Mrs. Mullen? Granny?
Ben?
That's right, Granny. It's me. I want to ask you something, dear. It's important, or I wouldn't have disturbed you.
Is it a nice day, Ben?
Oh, lovely day, dear. Lovely. Mr. Coombs spoke to you yesterday afternoon about that little matter. Do you remember? Do you remember Mr. Coombs, Granny? Granny, tell me, what did he ask you? What did he say?
Mr. Coombs? Oh, Ben, he was very, very nice. He smoked a pipe, like Maud's grandfather. I told him all about the jewelry, the brooch, and the ring, and the necklace. I told him it had been in the family 60 years, Ben, and that I gave it to Maud when she was 21. Is that right, Ben?
Granny, that's exactly right, dear. Did he ask you anything else? Did you tell him anything else?
That was all, Ben. That was all.
Now, you go back to sleep, dear. Sorry to disturb you.
Ben?
Yes, dear?
There never was any jewelry in this family, Ben. Never.
Of course there was, Granny. Didn't you tell Mr. Coombs all about it?
Yes. I told him. But, oh, Ben, I'm an old woman. And I shouldn't have lied.
No, don't you worry. It's all right. Maud?
Well?
Everything's all right.
What?
I'm telling you, we're in business. Paris and all. Pack your things.
Well, wait, Ben. How is she?
Your grandmother? Oh, my dear girl. We don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll put her in a nice home. Now, pack and smile.
You sure we'll get the money on the claim?
I'm going over to get it now. Now, you finish it off. Of course, there never was any jewelry, even though I assessed some. And there never was any theft, even though one was reported. However, there was a claim that in any adjuster's eyes would, on the evidence of it, appear to be absolutely legitimate.
Oh, glad you came by, Mr. Bentley. I was going to phone you. This will save time.
That is precisely why I'm here, Mr. Coombs, to save time. When will the Mullins receive their money?
Well, I'm afraid that's something I can't answer, Mr. Bentley.
Mr. Coombs, a valid claim has been placed with the company you represent. I'm sorry they have so many reservations about honoring it. However, I know something of the workings of insurance companies. I know that you, not the company, are holding it up.
That's quite right.
Why? I understand that you had the effrontery to call on that poor, sick old lady.
Wonderful person. I doubt if many people call on her nowadays. Most of her friends must be dead by now.
I'll tell you why I'm here. Miss Mullen asked me to come. She wants her $18,000, Mr. Coombs. The policy was written. The money is owed now.
Her grandmother made a sworn statement. All checks out there.
Oh, you're satisfied then?
Mr. Bentley, I want to tell you something. Now, this is off the record, just between you and me. Now, when I was at your apartment the other day, I couldn't help noticing the stuff on the wall. And I just asked around. You know, some of those paintings in your place are worth $2,000 or $3,000. That's a lot of money, even for a man who gets paid as high as you do. Now, what am I leading up to? Well, just this. Not only the Denver thing, but you worked a case in Dayton, Ohio, a year and a half ago. Praised some things for Midwestern indemnity at the home of some people named Vansing. Do you remember Vansing? Now, 2 days after you'd done your work, the Vansings found out that a diamond ring worth $8,500 was missing from their house.
I see.
Just let me go on. Similar thing happened in Omaha 3 years ago. Family named Van Cleve reported $6,000 worth of jewelry missing. Happened that you appraised their household goods just a week before. Now, here's one from San Francisco, and there's another one from St. Paul. You see?
You talk as though you expected to find stolen jewelry hanging on the walls of my apartment.
No, but jewelry can be turned into money to buy paintings, can't it? Oh, none of these things are any of my business. Even those nice paintings hanging in your apartment are none of my business. Have nothing at all to do with these people and their $18,000 claim with us.
Now, as you said, Mr. Coombs, all of this has nothing to do with their claim. They want their $18,000, Mr. Coombs. They want it within 24 hours. Do you understand?
Well, that's pretty clear, Mr. Bentley. But you can tell them they're going to be disappointed. You see, it's out of my hands.
What?
I turned the matter over to the Federal District Court. I've asked them to find the insurance company not liable under the policy.
But it take weeks for a hearing.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. And if the court decides against them, Mr. Bentley, the grand jury will have grounds to indict you for an attempted insurance fraud. Oh, that's a pretty rough thing to beat. But, now, if I had a statement from you right now, we might consider withdrawing from the court and letting the entire matter drop.
I see.
Well, what do you say, Mr. Bentley? Do you want to make that statement and clear all this up?
Mr. Coombs, I'm due on Long Island at 2 o'clock, an appraisal job for Eastern States Underwriters. They called me this morning. I'm late now.
Mm-hmm. Then you don't want to make the statement.
Mr. Coombs, I simply wouldn't know what to say. You really do know what to say, but under the circumstances, it would be inadvisable to confide it to Mr. Coombs. 2 words suffice. Get out. What had looked good and promising and Parisian had suddenly turned into an ugly accusation of theft, which was not the case, but which did definitely close the door on $18,000. So, one more crack at the old game, and if you have to, Paris alone.
Would you care for tea or a drink?
Mrs. Prescott, I'm in rather a hurry. Thank you. Some other time.
Oh, you've been so efficient, going from room to room, wandering all over the house. I'll just wait and not one single object escaped your eye.
Oh, did you happen to notice my daughter's diamond earrings? Aren't they lovely? Her graduation present.
Earrings? Oh, yes. Oh, lovely. Yes. Yes, I believe I did notice them. You see, we do have to be very thorough, Mrs. Prescott. You understand that?
No, of course. Tell me, Mr. Bentley, did you see my son's bedroom?
Yes, I believe so. Second door to the right, top of the landing.
Yes. Did you happen to see that little jade vase?
The jade vase? Oh, yes.
Mr. Bentley, I know this is asking for information that should come officially from the insurance company, but what is it worth?
$40.
$40? Oh, dear, and I thought it was worth thousands. I bought it in Hong Kong.
What did you pay for it?
$40? Just goes to show you. Are you sure you won't have any tea or something?
Quite sure. If you'll excuse me. Good day, Mrs. Prescott.
Good day, Mr. Bentley. I do hope you'll come back again someday. I want to talk to you about your work. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello?
Huh?
Mr. Bentley? This is Detective Ivers.
Central Division, Mr. Bentley.
What is this?
Mr. Coombs, have you lost your mind?
Your full name, Chalmers Bentley?
Well, of course it is. He knows that.
I understand your occupation is appraising, that right?
It certainly is. Now, I have a question.
Just a minute. I'd like to see that briefcase, Mr. Bentley.
What? Sorry.
Now, let's put it all back.
You're behind this, Coombs. I bet you think what'll happen when I call my attorneys.
It's just a little idea, Mr. Bentley. I had to risk it.
Nothing in here.
Nothing but a day's work, all unassorted, thanks to you.
All right. Mind standing still?
I certainly do. Now, take your hands off me.
I've got authority to search your person, Mr. Bentley. It'll be done sooner or later.
What are you looking for, a gun or something?
We have reason to believe you've taken some jewelry from this home. That's why I looked over the briefcase. That's why I have to search you. Empty your pockets. In the hat. Hold still. Nothing?
Can you finish it downtown?
Now, see here. I've been subjected to just
all
about
right,
enough of
it's
this.
not a necklace or a bracelet. We'd have found it by now. It's something smaller, a ring or a pin, or maybe you just pulled something out of a set. But it's on you somewhere, in your shoe or taped under your arm or somewhere. Come on, now, what did you take this time?
Diamond earrings.
Where are they?
Here. Right under my belt. This would have paid for my passage to Paris. You're very good at your job, Mr. Coombs.
From an expert, that's a real compliment.
Okay. Let's get in the car.
Wait. Mr. Coombs.
Mm-hmm?
How did you find out?
Why, I talked to your girlfriend's grandmother.
No, I don't understand. I wanted you to talk to her. She was my ace.
Oh, she told us the right story, Bentley. Your story. It broke that old lady's heart to lie. It just broke it. That's how we found out. I'll bet that old lady never told a lie in her whole life before. A 2-year-old kid would have known she was lying.
Yes, I should have thought of that. You never can trust these beginners. Should have worn my top coat.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. David Niven.
Say, Harlow, just who's eligible to enter the Autolite family charity drawing?
Anyone and everyone, 18 years or over, Hap.
And just what do you have to do, Harlow?
Why, Hap, it's as simple as signing your name and address. In fact, that's all you do. Just visit any Autolite family car dealer showroom, sign your name and address to a registration form, and nothing more. There are no sentences to complete, no puzzles to solve, nothing to try or buy. If you're one of the lucky 25 persons selected, you will name any recognized local or national charity you wish to share in $100,000 in cash. It costs nothing to enter. So give your favorite charity this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to collect thousands. Visit one or all of these car dealers: DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Not much time left, so sign up tomorrow.
Next week, the story of a man whose welcome home party promised little gaiety and many tears, and surely his death. It's called Parole to Panic. Our star, Mr. Broderick Crawford. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Grand Theft was written for Suspense by E. Jack Newman. In tonight's story, Mary Jane Croft was heard as Maud, Florence Walcott as Grandmother, and Joseph Kearns as Coombs. Featured in the cast were Truda Marson, Paula Winslow, and Vic Perrin.
David Niven may soon be seen in The Love Lottery.
And remember, next week, Mr. Broderick Crawford in Parole to Panic.
This is the CBS Radio Network. Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Broderick Crawford in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a man whose welcome home party promised little gaiety and many tears, and surely his death. It's called Parole to Panic. Our star, Mr. Broderick Crawford.
This is Harlow Wilcox reminding you that there's no time like right now to enter the giant Autolite family charity drawing. $100,000 in cash is waiting to be distributed to the recognized local or national charities chosen by the 25 persons selected in this great event. You may be one of those persons. To enter is as simple as printing your name and address. Listen to this on-the-spot interview with a woman in Connecticut.
Hello, I'm Bob Emmerich. What's your name?
Mrs. Allen Gulliver.
I understand that you signed up for this drawing here at this Autolite family car dealer, Salvatore Brothers. Is that right?
That's right.
Did you find it difficult?
Absolutely not. I signed my name and address on a registration form, and that was it.
Was there any obligation of any sort?
None whatsoever.
I see. Well, thank you very, very much, Miss Gulliver.
Thank you.
So, friends, visit any or all of these Autolite family car showrooms. DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Sign up tomorrow.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed Mr. Broderick Crawford in Parole to Panic, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
Well, Paul, there it is. The outside.
Yep.
Pretty good, huh?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Enjoy it. What I mean is, don't come back here. It's a pretty good life out there.
I won't be back. 2 years is enough for me.
Taking the train to town?
No, I don't think so. My wife's supposed to pick me up if she can borrow a car.
Well, good luck. It's not going to be easy for you.
Yeah, I know.
If there's anything I can do, if you need someone to talk to, advice, you know.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Warden. Thanks for seeing me to the door.
I like you, Paul. Don't let me down.
I won't.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Jenny!
Oh, Paul. Paul.
Oh, darling.
Oh. Did I keep you waiting long?
No. Only a couple of seconds.
I was so afraid to drive fast. This is our car, you know.
Our car?
I bought it yesterday. It's for you.
Oh, sort of a coming out present, huh?
Don't joke, Paul. Don't ever joke about being in prison.
Well, what do you want me to do, cry?
No, because that's what I know you're doing when you joke about it.
Come on, let's sit in the car.
I still feel kind of funny about all this space to move around in.
All right. Slide in on this side. You drive.
Okay. Where'd you get the money to buy a car?
I only had to make the down payment on it. We'll manage the rest.
I'll manage the rest.
What?
Oh, I don't know if this is the time to talk about it, but I'm going to have to find a job. Can't have you taking care of me, you know.
Oh, that's all taken care of.
It is?
Yes. I told my boss what you knew about fixing radios and what you'd done while you were in the Army, and he arranged a job for you at the plant.
Did you tell him where I'd been for the past 2 years?
Yes, Paul.
Oh. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with that gang, Jenny.
Let's not talk about it.
Too bad the district attorney didn't get them all while he was at it.
It's over, dear. Let's forget it. There are other things to think about now.
Jenny.
Yes?
I love you, Jenny. I love you very much.
I'm so glad, dear.
Shall we go home now?
Yes. Let's. You tired?
No, I feel great.
Do you realize you've driven all the way from that place in only 2 hours?
Oh, it's not me, Jenny. It's the equipment. You got a real good deal here.
Mr. Miller found it for me.
Does he still have the same store?
Yes, why?
Well, I've got to see him right now.
After you report to the parole officer.
No. He said I had to report to him before I went home, but he didn't say anything about seeing Mr. Miller.
But, Paul...
Oh, now, don't worry. It'll only take a minute or two.
Well, all right, but only a minute or two. You promise?
Yeah, I promise.
Yes, Mrs. Gordon. I'll have the boy pick it up this afternoon. Yes, he'll deliver you a fresh dozen eggs. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. Goodbye, Mrs. Gordon. And, what can I... Paul! Jenny!
How are you, Mr. Miller?
Well, Paul, it's good to see you. Well, you look fine.
I feel fine, too. I just dropped by to thank you for taking care of Jenny while I was gone. You know, the groceries and...
Not another word, Paul. You and Jenny are like my own. Besides, as soon as Jenny got a job, she paid me back.
Well, anyway, thanks.
Now, let me look at you. You're a good boy, Paul. Everything will be happy again.
Yeah, sure it will. Tell Roger I was here, and I'll see him later, will you?
Tell him yourself.
What?
He's here, in the back room. Roger.
Never mind. I'll go back there.
All right.
I won't be long, darling.
Good.
Hi, Roger.
Oh. Paul, come on in. Well, it's good to see you, Paul.
Yeah, to be here, too.
When'd you get back?
I just drove into town.
I'm sorry I couldn't do better for you at the trial.
Oh, you did fine. I don't know what would have happened to me if you hadn't defended me. Look, as soon as I get some money and a job, I'll pay you.
Oh, relax. No hurry. Paul?
Yeah?
You talked to anyone since you got back? I mean, outside of Pa and me.
No, I just told you. I just drove into town. Why?
Well, you know the DA didn't get the whole gang when they lowered the boom.
Yeah, sure. I know that.
Well, there's a rumor going around that they're waiting for you when you get out.
Why? What have I done?
They say you turned state's evidence.
But I didn't. I only told them the truth about what I knew.
I know that, but they don't.
All right, then I'll tell them.
You're not going to have a chance to do it.
Why not?
Understand, this is only what I've heard through the grapevine. But I hear they're going to shoot first and then ask questions.
Well, then what am I going to do?
I don't know.
Maybe I can get somebody to take a message for me.
Paul.
What?
Paul, they won't believe anything you say.
Why not?
Because they don't want to believe you. They're looking for a pigeon.
Oh. And I'm it, huh?
You're it?
You think I ought to leave town?
Why don't you go to the police? They put you under protective custody.
What am I going to tell them?
Just what I told you that I heard.
No, Roger. If the police followed every crackpot rumor they heard, they'd run themselves ragged.
This isn't a crackpot rumor.
They don't know that.
No, but we know.
I'm going to get out of town. Jenny's got enough money to keep us going for a while.
Well, keep in touch. If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah, sure, I will. Thanks.
Sorry, I can't help more.
Well, there's nothing more you can do, Roger. So long.
Bye.
Where are we going?
Home, to pack.
Well, what for?
We're leaving town.
Why? Why are we leaving town?
They're after me.
Why, who's after you?
The rest of the gang.
Well, what did you do?
I told the truth in court. They call it ratting, singing, squealing. Just take your choice.
Oh, who told you all this?
Roger Miller.
But what about your job?
I can't keep it if I'm dead.
Oh, there must be something we can do.
Yeah, there is, and we're doing it. We're getting out.
Look, Paula, are you sure about all this?
I'm not going to wait for a bullet to make me certain.
Well, all right. If you think it's best.
I can't take the chance that I could be wrong. This happened so quickly that I got to get out of town, even if it's just so I can think clearly.
Do they know you're back in town?
No, I don't think so. That's why we better hurry.
Well, where out of town are we going?
I don't know. All I know is I'd better get out if I want to stay alive. I've got to get the overnight bag filled here. Let me see. This is it, I guess. What else do you need?
Well, I'm all set here. How about your clothes?
Oh, I don't know if they still fit, but I packed wetsuits. Look to be in shape. You ready?
Yes. Oh, are you sure, Paul? Are you sure Roger was right? He could be wrong.
Yeah, sure, he could be, but... Hello?
Hello, Paul.
Who is this?
You're gonna die today, Paul.
Who was it?
They know, Jenny. They know I'm back in town. I'll be right back. Mr. Miller.
Oh, well, what is it? You look so...
Where's Roger?
He went to court. He has a case today. Why?
Doesn't make any difference. Look, Mr. Miller, do you have a gun?
A gun? Yes, I have a gun, but I...
All right, give it to me.
What?
I need a gun, Mr. Miller. Please let me have it.
You don't know what you're doing, Paul. A gun. I'm sorry, but I
Mr.
can't...
Miller, please, it's my life. I gotta have a gun.
But why?
I haven't got time to explain now. Ask Roger when he gets back. He'll tell you all about it.
I have a permit. He'll want to know where you...
It'll be all right. Just give me the gun, please. I gotta hurry.
You say Roger will tell you?
Yeah, he'll tell you. Please, Mr. Miller, hurry.
Yeah. All right. Here, Paul. I'm doing a wrong thing, but if Roger says it... Be careful, Paul.
Yeah, I will.
Why did you have to stop there?
I had to get something.
What?
A gun.
Oh, Paul, you're on parole. If they catch you with a gun...
They won't catch me. As soon as we're out of town, I'm going to ditch it.
Oh, Paul, isn't there a chance Roger might have been wrong? Maybe they've forgotten about you.
No. Not with that telephone call I got just before. Jenny.
Yes, Paul?
We're being followed.
How do you know?
I know. Watch when we go around the corner. Watch that blue sedan about a half a block and back. See him?
No, oh, there they are.
All right, now watch the next corner. Well, Jenny?
Yes. They're following us, Paul.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Broderick Crawford with Paula Winslow in Parole to Panic, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Now, we'd like you to hear a recording of another on-the-spot interview in connection with the Autolite family charity drawing. This time with a policeman in Bronxville, New York.
And what is your name, officer?
Patrolman James Morris of the Bronxville Police Department.
I understand that you signed up for the Autolite family charity drawing. Is
That's
that
right.
Uh-huh. And should your name be selected, how would you care to designate the money?
I was split it 3 ways: Cancer Fund, Heart Fund, and Bronxville PBA.
Very fine, and may I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you help your favorite local or national charity, too? It won't cost you a cent, and you have an opportunity to be among the 25 persons selected. Remember, there's nothing to try or buy, nothing to write or solve. All you do is visit any Autolite family car dealer showroom and fill out a registration form. So why not visit any one or all of these car dealers? DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. There's not much time left, so sign up tomorrow.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Broderick Crawford with Paula Winslow in Elliot Lewis's presentation of Parole to Panic, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Okay.
They're still following us.
What are they doing? Torturing me? They can follow us this closely. They can catch us anytime they want to.
Oh, go to the police, Paul. Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid of the police. It's what's in back of us that I'm afraid of.
Well, then let the police take care of them.
Don't you see? If I go to the station and stop the car, they'll blast me before I get to the front door. That's why they're following us so closely.
But they have to be crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy. But if I stop, I'll be dead and they'll still be crazy. No, we gotta lose them. Then we'll figure out something. You see him?
No.
Good. I think we lost him this time.
What do we do now?
Well, we're almost out of gas. We better stop.
Well, all right. But
what?
Oh, call the police. Tell them what's happened.
I intend to, Jenny. This is pretty open country. I guess we better stop at the first station we see. I'll telephone while they're filling the tank.
Well, I'm starting to feel a little better.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, Paul, there's the station.
Yeah, I see it.
What'll it be?
Fill her up, will you?
Right, sir.
Say, you got change for a quarter?
Yeah, I think so. Here. Help yourself.
Okay. 10, 20, 25. Here's your quarter.
Just drop it.
Nice. Hey, where's the phone?
Back to the station.
Thanks a lot. Operator, I want the police. Yes, my name is...
Oh, they just drove past. I think they saw the car.
What?
They're stopping down the road.
Come on.
14 already, mister. I don't think she'll take much more.
Hey, Jenny, they're turning around.
Hey, mister, you didn't wait the... Hey, what are you trying to pull? Hey!
How'd they find us? How?
I don't know.
Oh, Jenny. Jenny, listen to me.
What is it?
This car isn't fast enough to stay away from them.
Well, then what'll we do?
I'm going to turn in the first side road we come to, and then you're getting out.
No, I won't do it.
You got to. I can't.
I'm not getting out of the car.
Jenny, they'll kill you, too.
I don't care. I've been away from you long enough.
All right, then we'll keep going.
Do you know where we are?
Yeah, there's no way we can get back to town from here.
It'll be dark soon.
I know that.
Maybe we can get away then.
Catch up before dark. They can catch us anytime they want to.
Paul, do you know where we are?
I told you before.
No. I mean, you remember the cabin where we spent a weekend the first winter we were married?
Yeah, why?
Well, it was on a road that turned off the...
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. You got that cabin for one of the boys, you remember?
Yes, but it's better than sitting in the car and waiting for them.
Okay, let's go. You remember where the side road was?
Well, it's pretty soon now.
Just past the bridge, I think.
Oh, Jenny, I hope you're right.
Oh, I do too, Paul. I do too.
It's locked.
I don't have a key.
Oh, I'll kick it in.
Hurry, Paul. I hear them.
Yeah, so do I. Step back, Jenny. All right, stay away from the windows. There's enough light yet for him to shoot. Let's push this table against the door. Come on.
Okay.
Here they are. Okay, Jenny. You stand over there. As soon as they come up the steps, I'm going to start shooting.
Maybe they're afraid.
No, they couldn't be. Because they know I am.
What are they waiting for?
I don't know. They haven't even gotten out of the car yet.
Do they know you have a gun?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I wish they'd do something.
Paul?
What? Wait a minute. They're on their way.
Paul?
What?
There's a telephone in the cabin.
Where?
I think it's in that cabinet on your left.
Okay. Yeah, here it is. Hello? Hello? Hello, operator. It's disconnected.
Did you say it was disconnected?
Either that or they just cut the wire. Yeah, that's what happened. One of them just cut the wires.
Where are they going?
I don't know.
Maybe they changed their minds, huh?
No, I doubt it.
Well, then why would they drive away?
Well, they didn't go far.
But why did they go at all?
They're not sure whether I got a gun or not. If I have one, they know they're asking for it if they rush the cabin.
How long can we stay here?
Jenny, we're leaving now.
But you said they're just down the road.
We'll leave on foot.
What?
Tell me. Can you walk much in those shoes you got on?
But yes, the heels are pretty low. Why?
All right. We'll head into the woods. Go east as far as we can. We'll sleep out in the open tonight. And we'll head for the first house we see when daylight hits.
All right, Paul.
I'm going to go out first. You follow me in a couple of seconds.
Yes.
Help me with this table in front of the door. I don't want to slide it.
All right.
Yeah, it looks clear. A few seconds, Jenny. Remember that. Then follow me.
I will.
Suckered me, Jenny. They had a guy planted out there.
Oh, you're bleeding, Paul.
Yeah, I'm hurt bad.
We gotta try to stop the bleeding.
Try all you want to. I don't think you can do it.
We've got to try.
Yeah. They're back to pick up the body. Sure going to be disappointed, aren't they?
Oh, Paul, I'm frightened. I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to help you.
Just stay close to me, Jenny. Stay close. I'll think of something.
Paul?
Yeah, Jenny?
Are you...
Yeah, I'm still bleeding.
Let me talk to them. They'll listen to me. I'm a woman. You've got to get a doctor.
No, Jenny. That's what they want. Don't you understand? They want me to die, and I'm going to.
Don't say that, Paul. Don't say that.
It's true, Jenny. It's true, but... Well, I'm not going to die alone.
What are you going to do?
They haven't gotten out of the car since they came back. That means they're all together. But I still got 4 slugs left in the gun. I'm going to use them. Get back, Jenny. I got to break this window. You out there. Why don't you come in and get me? All right. All right, I'll come out and get you.
Easy, Paul. Take it easy. You're going to be fine.
Who are you?
Police.
Jenny. Where's Jenny?
Here I am, darling.
When did they get here?
Just after you came out shooting.
How did you find me?
Roger Miller called us after you got the gun from his father.
But how did you know where to look?
You left the receiver off the hook in the service station. There we checked all the side roads looking for a big gasoline stain where you might have turned off the main road.
Gasoline?
The attendant was still pumping gas into your car when you drove away. He never got the chance to replace the cap on your tank.
Oh. We'll pick it up some other time. Won't we, Jenny?
Yes, Paul. We'll pick it up some other time.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Broderick Crawford.
This is Harlow Wilcox again. Whatever your favorite charity, local or national, you may help it collect thousands of dollars by just printing your name and address. That's all you do to enter the Autolite Family Charity Drawing. And if you are one of 25 chosen, you'll name any recognized charity you wish for a share of $100,000. Your friends and neighbors are signing up enthusiastically. Listen to this typical comment by an Elizabeth, New Jersey woman.
This is Mrs. Morris Cohen, who just signed up for this drawing. Now, Mrs. Cohen, when you signed, did you have any difficulties whatsoever?
Not at all. Just sign my name and address.
I see. Should your name be selected, how would you care to designate the money?
3 chapters in Elizabeth. The cerebral palsy, the heart fund, the cancer.
I think that's wonderful. May I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
So give your favorite recognized charity the opportunity of a lifetime. Sign up at any or all of these Autolite family car showrooms. DeSoto, Hudson, Plymouth, Studebaker, Dodge, Willis, Nash, Packard, Kaiser, or Chrysler. Do it tomorrow, sure. And now, Betty Goody of Radio TV Mirror magazine and the producer of Suspense, Elliot Lewis.
It is my pleasure, Elliot, to inform you that the readers of Radio TV Mirror again have selected Suspense as their favorite radio mystery program. Here's your award, a gold medal and a scroll, and congratulations to you and Autolite.
Thank you very much, Betty, and thanks also to all you Suspense listeners who voted for us.
You'll find an interesting story and pictures on the annual awards in the current issue of Radio TV Mirror magazine.
Next week, the story of a man who tried to learn a lesson the hard way. He bet his life on the turn of a card. It's called The Card Game. Our star, Mr. Richard Widmark. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Parole to Panic was written for Suspense by Ross Murray. In tonight's story, Paula Winslow was heard as Jenny. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns, Junius Matthews, Hy Averback, and Barney Phillips.
Broderick Crawford may soon be seen co-starring with Gregory Peck in the 20th Century Fox picture Night People.
And remember, next week, Mr. Richard Widmark in The Card Game.
This is the CBS Radio Network.